Hello everyone, and welcome to Helpful Go Presents Tier Moontree Isle. I'm having a difficult time breathing because there's just been a lot going on as we were getting ready for this call before we went live. There's some content. I have no words for this. Before we drop into content explanations and introductions, happy Juneteenth, everyone. If you don't know what that is, there's probably a lot of people who don't, and I suggest looking it up. I suggest getting some context for that. And for everyone out there, with everything that is going on right now and everything that's been going on for a long ass time, I really encourage you to take a minute, take an hour, take a bunch of days, and educate yourself, read up on some things, read up on a bunch of topics. If you've never heard of Juneteenth, that's a good place to start. If you've never heard of the Tulsa Massacre, that's a good, though significantly less happy place to start. But read up on these topics. It's really important, and a lot of things that are going on right now I think are only understandable in a context where you've educated yourself and then thought about that and thought about how that affects life right now. To this end, and with Helpful Goat supporting Black Lives Matter and racial justice in America, we have a pair of commands in chat, which I believe Sam has dropped in. One of them, !BLM, which gives you a variety of resources. And also our donate command right now is being programmed to go to the North Star Health Collective, which is a charitable organization in Minneapolis, which focuses on community health, and they have a whole list of resource and donation places that still require resources. So both of those I encourage you to check out, and if you donate some money if you can, and certainly spend a little bit of your time, learn a little bit more about what's going on and what's been going on. With that, thank you so much everyone for being here. My name is Galway Trainer. I am the unbenevolent dictator of Helpful Goat Gaming, and tonight I am your DM as my friends and I build and explore a magical world. Or in the case of my world of Tier, not so magical. As I mentioned, I'm the DM, so I am not at all the star tonight. Those stars are below me in the video screen, and we'll go with them in order. See if our first player, Rachel, who has appeared on a variety of streams and is making a very good face right now. Let's see if she can successfully push to talk. Playing Nero, the half-burned cowman. That's like the worst description of your character I think I can think of. It tells people basically nothing, but also everything they should know. Elise, who's taken some time off from DMing a never-ending journey through a day of the week on Spire, to join us here playing Minnow Row.
Hopefully going to have so much less diarrhea today.
Wait. Why couldn't people hear you?
You guys can hear me, but the stream can't hear me.
Can people hear her now?
Hello.
She said hear the players.
Can't hear any of the players.
Can hear
Maybe?
Elise.
Hello, hello.
Galway, in Slobs, do you have desktop audio on?
Yep, I'm watching that little sound meter click back and forth.
Can you hear me?
We
Okay.
can hear now.
They say they can hear now.
You can hear me talking. Stream, yes, because everything's great.
Poor Galway.
It was all so simple. And then, like...
This time it wasn't my fault.
Yeah.
It just
And then
seemed
you
like
asked
it.
a hobbit to play, and then the gremlins came out.
Yeah, so are hobbits actually... Anyway, hobbits actually gremlins. Questions for later. Playing the best suit of armor with feelings, Sam.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Domo, 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 domo.
Bringing a touch of sanity to the rest of the Marauders, Heather, playing Ressa.
Hi, how you doing?
And I see her waiting, trying to see what my lead-in for her is going to be. Ketch, playing Ketch, the eldest scion of a very good cat family. Chris.
everyone. My question, real quick though, is Ressa really the voice of reason? I mean,
No,
she wanted to,
Heather
I'm supposed to be.
is.
Heather is okay because I
Well,
mean, she
Ressa
wanted
is
to.
supposed to be, but
I mean,
you know.
she wanted to put a horse into the crazy time house.
Which
So
was more reasonable than
Wanting
what
to
Beth
play-
and I
I
had
was
planned.
gonna say, how many of you all were trying to clamber in there? I'm going with Ressa being the voice of
Still
reason.
gonna clamber in there. Are you kidding?
Heck is hanging back like 100 feet, wondering what the heck you guys are doing. We got a mission to do. So
That's true.
That's
That
fair.
is
That's fair.
reasonable.
All
Also,
right.
my push to talk may still be fucking up, so we'll just have to see.
Okay. It's always a technical adventure here. Yes, we are Helpful Go Gaming. We're a small independent game design and game content creation community. We stream multiple times a night. We usually stream Tuesdays with Goat's Eye View, which is our sort of talking about board games and tabletop RPGs. On Wednesday, we play Dungeons and Dragons with Dominic Monaghan, who you may have heard of. That's a good time. I believe there are 3 more episodes left coming up with that, and then we'll be going on a sort of arc end and a brief break from that. So check into those. On Thursdays, the next 3 people after me in the video feed play Spire, in which Rachel and Sam frustrate Elise's attempts to advance time or a plotline. And it's beautiful. And
With
I love
extra
it.
diarrhea.
With extra diarrhea and hyena facts. Can we get
Yeah,
hyena? Can I request hyena facts about hyena diarrhea next week?
I mean, yeah, I can also tell you all about their fun, like, white.
You don't have to though. It's okay.
Oh no, it
You
went
know,
out
this
again.
really makes
Oh,
me
no.
This
Fine.
to back out of it.
Just Discord has decided that I'm done talking when it says so.
I really want to hear what Sweet Pea sounds like. Like, I want to hear Sweet Pea's laugh at some
I
point.
mean, by so many like live play standards, that would fall on me, and I'm just not. I don't.
voice the
no, I'll take care
hyena.
of it. Don't worry.
How do I? What?
I'll get a good hyena cackle. Don't worry.
Great. You can. You're in charge of Sweet Pea's voice.
Excellent. And on Fridays we stream usually D&D, either primarily Goats and Dragons, which is our long form level 1 to level 20 campaign DM'd by Andy, the benevolent dictator, or right now Helpful Goat Presents, which has been tier Moontree Isle and will be for the foreseeable future, which I DM and these lovely people see playing. With that having been concluded, let's turn to a brief recap of last time, and I'd like to let you guys take that.
Okay.
Elise leans in over notes.
Yes,
I'm
my
hoping someone took the
extensive-
notes.
I do. I always end up taking so many notes. This is the ADHD grad student in me that if I'm not writing it down, I'll forget it. So
I take the time, but they make no sense.
okay. We started with our little recaps of everything that everyone had been doing in the week period off, in which Minnow had a conversation with her spouse, Arden, in which they talked about the missing jewelry that is concerning, and found out during an investigation that there is possible linkage to well, it's in my notes somewhere.
Possibly the Shadow Hand.
Yes, the Shadow Hand organization. that like it's like a criminal organization that the people among them were kind of like getting restless. Lots of outposts. I've had no dealings with them in the past, but we know that there's an outpost in name of city that we are headed toward.
Tormenreal.
Mm-hmm. That's the one.
Nice.
I can keep going if y'all want me to. I mean, I've
Well, we took the guy with us, and we got horses.
Dellen.
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry, my push to talk went out again, so it's just going to keep doing that. I'm just going to wait till the green thing, and then I'll know I have to press it again.
Yeah, I also made fishing rods for everyone.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was so nice. And you gave a fishing rod to Dellen as well.
I did. I gave him one of my early ones.
There was a rod party going on.
Rods and fish. Okay, sorry. So then we were Son of a bitch. We were riding by. Just gonna keep doing this.
Well-
Maybe I shouldn't be the one to recap right now if my push is done.
Before we left town, Dellen commissioned us to escort him back to Tormenreal and possibly then to Rachel really likes that. Possibly then to Moontree Isle, depending on whether or not he finds the people that he could not contact using like a far speech stone of something like that. Message sending, I don't know. Could not contact the people that he's used to being able to contact that way. So we are escorting him to Tormenreal for money, which I did not write down how much money it was, but we can all trust Galway, right? To pay us a fair amount. Money.
I'll BRB. I can still. Son of a bitch. Keep talking.
I like that it cuts out the end of her sentence, but then picks right back up for son of a bitch.
And then when we were on the road, I think it was a church we were passing. There was some weird magic going on, and we figured out it was in sort of like a time loop that was happening.
And we ended up not passing the church.
Yes, we stayed there to investigate out of curiosity, which
The cat was against curiosity.
and
Yeah,
He's heard bad things about it.
It's a known drop in our time period for like smugglers and criminal networks. So Minnow was familiar with it for that reason. But in the things that we saw cycling with these other time periods being shown every minute or whatever, every few seconds, we saw a bunch of other things too, like a church, ceremonies inside, people inside, troll. We fought the troll who disappeared, and then we beat him without beating him. So possible foreshadowing for something we'll have to do in the future.
Yeah, it was very much clear signs that we had defeated this thing without actually reaching that point yet in combat.
Yep, you saw marks from signature weapons that you all wield that had not hit the troll, at least in your experience.
We also did experiment dent through a rock into the building at one point, and then in one of the other time periods, we saw people react to the rock going through the glass and appearing on the ground. Minnow did clock seeing the rock on the floor through multiple of the like little time cycles. But the magic seemed to be broken too at the end of whatever, and now we just have our normal little smuggler drop.
And also we were able to witness sort of like ghost-like nebulous forms on the inside in some sort of ritual. But other than that, we haven't really been able to make out much else.
Yeah, sounds about right.
and we did not get a horse in there.
And you did not throw
yet.
a horse in yet.
Not yet, but there is a horse's skeleton in there.
There is?
Yes, in the corner.
Yes, in the corner.
Oh, yeah. And there's the card out back that was sometimes there and sometimes not, right? And that was actually outside the building, which is interesting because it does kind of suggest that the time loop spell kind of goes beyond the actual boundaries of the building itself.
And there is also a graveyard behind the church, right?
Yes.
Yep. And you did see the number of headstones change when time would flicker.
Oh, interesting.
All right. I think that was most of it. Do we have Rachel back?
She said she can still hear us. She probably, since it's on push to talk, can't. Like.
To this end, though, I think I will drag you to where you all still are. Yeah, very good. One thing that would be potentially worth noting as well, because it probably would have occurred to your characters, perhaps not to the players, since there was a bit of time between Amberheart and us starting up Moontree Isle. The figures that you saw inside the church were very reminiscent of what your families described to you from the place that they got sent, wherever that was. And yeah, we're picking up right from there. Dellen is sitting furiously taking notes down by this tree stump. He has many times assured you that he is freaking useless in combat and does not want to get near it. There is a dead troll next to you. And I can't remember if it was Nero or Dent that was trying to climb through a window and then had gotten pulled back right before the troll appeared.
It was me.
But what would you like to do?
I'm going to go investigate that cart because I'm very interested in the fact that this cart came and went. And we were like pressed up right next to the building. So like, I just kind of want to see if there's any way to like know what was going on with that.
Sure. You should have control of your tokens. You can move. So you make your way, I'm assuming around the outside of the village, not...
Yes.
Sorry, not the XCOM movement of jump through a window, run through a building, jump through another window.
Yeah, no, I'm going to Elliot up and just over the window. Through the...
Yeah, awesome. You get around. There is a sort of ruined cart back there. The wood and everything still looks sort of structurally sound, but the wheels have fallen off. One is entirely missing. This isn't something that's moved in a decently long time.
There's not a great way to do this, I guess, because the spell seems to have ended right now, right?
Nero, who was using Detect Magic, certainly saw the sort of bubble of magic sort of, instead of flickering the next time it should have, roughly, it didn't seem like it was super regularly timed, it just burst. And now he didn't report still seeing it.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So I'm just going to turn off push to talk while I troubleshoot this so that I could at least still talk. Sorry.
Sounds fair.
Just briefly.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I would like to see if I can ascertain where or how the bubble could have extended beyond to get the between the cart and the graveyard to kind of figure out what was going on with like how the spell was like apparently affecting more than just the building itself. I don't know how much I could really investigate with this, but
give me a straight intelligence check. You're not really like...
Not Arcana?
You're not knowingly studying the arcane. This is kind of a hybrid between Arcana and investigation. I'd say if you have proficiency with both of those, I'll let you have proficiency with them. I
do have proficiency with both Arcana and investigation.
Okay, but I don't know if you have expertise in either of them, not up to expertise.
No expertise, just proficiency. Okay.
So roll your choice of them. I'll count it as the hybrid. 11.
Cool.
It's really hard for you to tell, but one thing that you do know is that you passed by here about 10 days ago when you were going back to Amberheart, and because you know that this is a drop point, you kind of habitually check it out. You don't think you actually first noticed the little sort of handle of the cart sticking out, and that was one of the things that drew your attention to the church generally.
Right.
You don't think that was there. It's possible that it was, but you don't think it was, and this level of damage to a cart could not happen inside 10.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Is anyone here, I don't know, history or book smart, perhaps?
I do not have history as over the table.
Patch is a fighter, so no.
Yeah, no, intelligence isn't really my strength.
Yeah, over the table, I have a +2 to intelligence, so if that's what we've got, then...
I was going to say, allow me to say that, yeah, the book learning is not perhaps the strength of the party generally. Though you are doing better than the party that I DM'd Curse of Strahd for, who I think the highest charisma was a 10, and no one had thieves' tools. And I jokingly said to them, if ever you have to either, like, pick a lock or convince someone to open it for you, you're screwed. And then there's a scenario in there that's basically exactly that, and I hadn't read it yet. I was like, oh, they're in trouble.
So, Okay, well, it's fine. No one here is particularly learned, but I've seen that these gravestones have been changing in number, and maybe it's worthwhile if we can look at them and see if we recognize any of the names that are changing. I out of character, as Dent, I don't think Dent, because he has particularly awful amnesia, I don't think any of these names would mean anything to him. But he would recognize that the fact that they're changing might be significant.
Yeah, certainly. I would say that Dent does not possess the background, not even the intelligence, just the background knowledge to really know who was there. But especially Minnow might. So yeah, Minnow, you could be moving over there on that suggestion, but Ressa, what are you up to?
Did we loot the troll? I know we looked at him to see our weapon marks, to know that we were the ones that killed him, but did he have anything on him?
He has a great club, and some sort of tattered clothing, and that's about it.
Okay.
He did come from inside the building, not that you entirely know what that means. But you can also see a small camp sort of over at the edge with the skeleton of a horse, etc.
I'll probably stay out while they check out the graveyard, and then I'll probably want to go inside, check it out.
I was troubleshooting a lot and I was listening, but only half able to follow things. So, sorry.
It's
You're
good.
fine.
We haven't done much.
What do
Catch.
we check in? What do we?
Catch, what are you up to?
Catch, I am just kind of chilling here, still at the front. Let me pull the map up. It doesn't want to come. There we go. So I never really left this front corner over here.
Yeah.
I was able to hit the troll when it was over in this side, but I kind of feel like my cat senses, and those are a thing because I've just made them a thing. My cat senses are slightly tingling to not really go near this place unless I absolutely have to. So I'm just kind of, I don't know, maybe just surveying the area here, kind of keeping an eye on my party as well as the guy, Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan has actually stopped taking notes and wandered up next to you. Is it quite over now? The troll appears dead.
No.
Well, you see, there's... Funny you ask. This troll is dead, but not a single one of us here actually killed it. And then it went away, and then it showed up dead. And now... I don't know, this place is really weird, and I kind of... Yeah, I don't really like it.
Fascinating. Well, at least it showed up dead when you hadn't killed it, as opposed to you having killed it and then it coming back alive. Which
You watch your mouth.
I know, why you gotta bring up, the bad side of shit? I mean, can't we just be like, hey, it's dead, let's move on? Guys, it's dead, let's move on?
If that happens, it's on you. Can I look around? We'll just
So sinister.
Nero's frustrated.
is Nero's push-to-talk key not working either?
This is keyboard number 3 that I'm now using, that I had to pull from my computer downstairs, because the other one that we pulled up...
Is it corded, Rachel?
Yeah, you know what? The second was too, Elise, but oddly enough, that one also didn't work. Don't fucking push me on tech stuff. I'll beat you. Anyway. I mean, I love you.
Angel, you back off.
I will
Thank you,
fight
Chris. Thank
all
you.
of you. Can I look around for some kind of living animal in a bush, like a bird or a lizard or a squirrel?
Give me a survival check.
Am I good at those?
I'm assuming you're also trying to catch said thing.
Yes.
Then give me a survival check. I was like, if you're just looking for it, perception. But if you're Trying to look plus catch survivors.
Aww.
13. You are able to grab. You were sort of going for like a mouse or a squirrel or something, but you do manage to get a lizard along the way.
Okay, so I'm gonna hold the lizard in my hand and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, little guy. I know that you were just there in the bush, living your life, but
As one does.
I need to entrust you right now on a secret lizard mission for the good of the Marauders, and I know that you could do it. And I'm gonna like gently toss the lizard in through the window of the building."
Cool. Yeah, you specified gently toss, so I will not use the verb orc the lizard through the window. But you sort of like, eh. Also give me flashbacks to a game when Lena insisted she could gently toss a child 15 feet. I'm like, no? No, that's throwing. That's outright throwing. So yeah, you just sort of gently toss it in. You see the lizard go.
I want to try and keep an eye on it if I can.
Yeah,
It's like,
you sort of, I assume, tossed it in this window here, this south window on the east side.
yeah, I just
And
want to keep an eye on it if I see it, if shit changes again. That's
turns
all.
into an iguana or anything. Yeah, no, it's
Or
just
it
gonna.
turns into bones. I don't know. This place is weird.
It's gonna sort of skitter under one of the pews, and now you like see it looking at you with its little literal side eye.
I wave. Hey, lizard friend.
So just to be clear, unless Minnow outright stopped me this time, I would have probably walked right into the graveyard, not recognizing that, like, it wasn't an encapsulated thing.
Not recognizing AoE. Yeah, I don't know. Minnow, do you stop him as he's?
I think realistically, Minnow was still investigating the cart before she would have been there to stop Dent going in. So if you want to say, because I was going to look for like traps and like try and just assess the situation first, but let's just go.
Yeah. You go inside. You see sort of weathered and very worn, but neatly ordered gravestones. None of the dates marked on them exceed now. They're all from kind of about 40 years back, which for you, Dent, would kind of scan. Like, they look like they haven't been kept up, especially. So nothing particularly weird, and you don't recognize any of the names, but you didn't really expect to.
So none of the people died in the future?
Correct.
Okay.
Unlike
hey,
our troll.
time fuckery is happening, so...
Yeah, I guess seeing that...
Sorry. I just wanted to say just a reminder with the lizard too is that I can actually speak to lizards.
Oh,
I can't understand it back, but like it knows what I was asking of it and telling it that it was.
Oh, yeah. It knows that this thing grabbed it out of a fucking bush and then was like, hey, buddy, I need you to do me a solid.
Yeah.
Do lizards have a sense of a solid?
Lizards have a sense of, I didn't want to be taken out of my fucking bush.
Aw.
You guys can't make me feel bad for putting a lizard in the church, okay?
I didn't!
I mean, yeah, I think we.
I haven't done anything horrible to it yet.
I will follow Dent into the graveyard. And I'll look at the graves. Do I recognize names? Does it all kind of track?
Yeah, everything tracks in terms of you've been here. Sometimes the graveyard is a dead drop. The gravestones are the correct number, the correct places, the correct names. Nothing much seems out of the ordinary on just sort of like casting your eye over it.
Should we step out and wait for the graves to change to see which ones change?
I have a feeling that we're done with the changing time thing, at least for now. Nero said there's no more magic bubble, and I don't think it would have waited for us just going in and out.
Give me a quick perception check,
Okie doke.
Four.
24.
Very nice. As you're going and you're sort of saying this to Dent, I almost said to Rook. Out of the corner of your eye, the gravestone in the very back corner, you look at, and something just seems a little bit off about it to you. And as you go and sort of like look at it and peer at it, it looks much newer. Like, it's the gravestone that's been there, but it looks fresher than you've seen it before.
Hey, Nero!
Yeah?
Can you still do the thing where you sense magic?
Has it been 10 minutes, Galway?
You started it when you were walking up towards the church.
Yes.
You probably have about a minute of it left, so not a lot of time in roleplay time, but yeah, it's still on.
Yep. We just gotta act.
Okay, can you
quickly.
run? Just sprint back here. Sprint.
Yeah.
And tell me what you see on this
I can
gravestone.
move 50 feet in 6 seconds, so.
Monks. Doing the dope monk stuff.
What's the name on the gravestone?
Yeah, no, wait, what's the name on the gravestone?
Reliseth? Which, it's... And actually...
Sounds like a pharmaceutical.
It's actually interesting as you look at it. You're like, yeah, it's Reliseth. And this gravestone had always been worn away. And now you can see Reliseth Neander. You can see the last name as well. And you've never been able to see that before.
Interesting. Nero, do you see anything on this gravestone in particular? And I'm pointing to it.
Do I?
With your detect magic vision, no.
Nope. Do I see anything else around in the graveyard that is magic-y shiny while I'm here?
Nope. No. You'd kind of done a quick... You'd sort of done, after the troll had dropped, you sort of did a quick, like, spin around, and you didn't see anything immediately obviously sticking out. Outside of, like, Ressa and Dent, who sort of always glow. Use detect magic.
Can I use my mage hand to poke around at, like, the base and see if the dirt has been disturbed?
Y'all really looking for a zombie apocalypse here. Yeah, absolutely.
Too much Last of Us. Okay, yep. I use my mage hand and I poke around. I guess just trying to see if anything else about this seems different, or if I can figure out, like, what happened.
Yeah, it appears to be the packed dirt of a long, idle grave.
Well, I hate this, so...
I don't understand what's upsetting you here.
Well, so this gravestone has always been super run down, decrepit, and in fact, you could only ever see the first name on it. But as we can all see, assuming everyone here reads, it has both names now. I don't know. Dent has amnesia. Does Dent read?
I'm sure Dent can read. Yeah, I can read. Galway, would it be possible for any one of us to do a history check to see if this name rings a bell?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I will let up to 2 people make the same check, generally. Unless there's very specific reasons why someone else might be involved, or if they're checking a different aspect of it.
My history.
I don't think narratively it makes sense that I do the check, because I probably don't know people.
Ressa and Ketch both have family in the area. Maybe one of them. I mean, I'm happy to also do it, but in character, I would probably suggest Ressa and Ketch.
History is not my strong suit, being intelligence based. If I could do religion, which is wisdom based, maybe.
Well, tell you what, Ressa and me
outside
will
of
do
it,
our-
if this was specifically a religious figure, or if there was something about like the burial or the grave that suggested the adherent of a particular religion, not really. And you could make those.
I mean, we can just do our best, Ressa.
Okay, let's do our best.
Nat 20.
Nice.
So an 18 and a nat 20. I was honestly, especially once I saw the 20, I was really hoping that Minnow had fumbled. Just so
Yeah,
that we
but
could get the two
instead-
party members with maximum distance on their... So Minnow, with this roll...
Minnow or Ressa?
Minnow. I was
Okay,
resolving
just-
yours first.
Yeah, cool.
You don't recognize that. You also don't recognize the family name, which is kind of the news to you. And so nothing about that seems particularly remarkable. Ressa, you know, because you've been involved with church records and you've sort of gone through those occasionally. There was a Neander clan that was located a bit farther to the east, but they all moved or left this area like over a century ago.
So I will pass that information along.
Did you say over a century ago?
Yeah.
And it looks brand new right now?
Yep.
What's the date on it? I mean, is the date...
What is the date right now?
I believe it's 1446 for you all. The date is, because I've forgotten exactly which year this campaign takes place in, the date is about 150 years ago.
Okay, so that tracks with the clan.
Yeah. And you don't know, like, even with that great, it's not like you know their specific lineages or anything. You don't recognize this name. It's just oh yeah, I remember them. Yeah, they were located out east of Amberheart, and they've been gone for a long time.
Would we know anything else about the family other than that, you know, they relocated a long time ago?
They were moderately wealthy, and that's kind of why Ressa remembers them. They'd done lots of donations to the church, and then had moved on, and that was sort of noted, and they'd done sort of a last summary donation before they headed out, and that's what appeared, and that's why it clicked in your...
Can I head back over to the cart and see if any of the stuff in the cart would be connected to the Neander family?
Sure. Yeah. While you're doing that, what's anyone else sort of wanting to do? Catch, you're still just hanging out with Dylan?
Yeah, I'm still just kind of hanging out over here. I would say that because all this time fuckery stuff is going on, Ketch's ears are probably... Each ear is trying to, like, listen for each corner of the building that I'm on, but I'm basically just kind of standing there. All right, so are we done? Are we ready to go? What are we doing?
Dylan has scurried over to the gravestone.
I'm gonna run back to the window and look for my new lizard agent.
Lizard agent.
And
He is not where he was, so give me a perception check.
Cool.
and I'll start saying, "You think we should go in? Let's go in."
Not bad.
24. Very nice. So as you look in, the building is sort of silent, still. You're 100% sure there are no trolls hiding in the corner. But as you're looking around, and kind of based on what Minnow had you do with the gravestone, you notice the wear on the building doesn't seem uniform. it generally seems about like it's looked like a couple times you've passed by here and Minnow's gone and run an errand in the building or something, or left something, or suggested you shelter from a storm there. And it looks about like that, but then you see these little patches where it's like there's still decorative work on the stone. Like it looks much newer, much more intact. And then there's other areas where you're like, well, that doesn't make sense because it's worn stone. And then it's just entirely rubble in other places where you're pretty sure it didn't used to be. So it looks like that same time warping effect in different places is inside the church. Also, because you managed to roll a 24. You also notice from the rubble kind of at the back here, under what had been the altar, you see a little bit of what looks like a trapdoor. Also, you see the lizard over here in this rubble.
Where did you click? I didn't see, sorry.
Oh, sorry. The lizard's in the southwest corner of the rubble.
Gotcha.
Just sort of hanging out on a rock. And then the north central part of it against the back wall is
And
where the trapdoor.
Did the time fuck usually happen with some form of regularity? Like we would have expected it to shift by now, or?
Let's do the time fuck again.
Yes, you would have. I'm just going to keep rolling by that, but it's very good. You would have certainly expected it to. It seemed like it had stopped the last time you could tell, because while it didn't have a school of magic, it was certainly fucking magic, and you could see it with your cowman eyes. Which that spell is firmly over, by the way.
Damn. Okay, so I would... Let me see. Where the fuck is everybody? I would relay what I have seen with the time wonky being extra wonky and weird and in different locations and places, and point out the trapdoor. And I would also say, you know, I think it might have paused, and I think that, I don't know, are we feeling brave enough to check it out?
I think so.
So Ketch is still just trying to figure out what the hell you guys are doing. And when Ketch would hear Nero say that, we're not going to leave this place, are we? Fine. I'll go in.
Can I hear them talking about this from the other side of the building?
You can hear sort of muffled voices, and you probably heard Nero, because Nero was trying to communicate to the group generally, being like, hey, things seem extra weird, and any information like the trapdoor and all of that was relayed. I'm not sure you heard Ketch, who was just sort of like, fine.
Yeah, I would definitely yell back like, yes, let's go in, but also let me check things for traps.
Cool. Did you want to check the cart real quick? And what specifically you were trying to see if that was anything connected to the Neander family?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and give me an investigation roll to go through stuff. That's another critical. 24 investigation and a nat 20. So primarily the boxes and sort of sacks in this are sort of like moldering supplies. Food, bedding, stuff like that. But beneath that, you dig through and you find a small chest.
How small?
18 inches wide, or like 12 inches deep. So not like certainly something that you could travel with. You could easily pick it up and fit. And also, I will just carry your investigation through on that because it was a crit. It is not trapped. It doesn't even look locked.
Okay.
There was a lock on it, but it sort of has like broken off. The shackle for the lock has broken off. So
I'll open it.
okay. Inside, you find some entirely sort of molded, moth-eaten papers that are illegible. You find a small vial with a sort of light green liquid in it, and 15 gold pieces.
Okay. The vial, light green liquid, right? And then 15 GP?
Yep.
Okay. I will take the box back to the group. And if we're not, like, already climbing through the window,
I'm pretty sure Ketch is already climbing through.
Okay.
I was gonna say I wanted to let you get that investigation in, but Ketch, you can show me where you would like to advance to.
Fantastic. So being a cat, Ketch is just like, bored, we're not moving, fine, move out of my way, let's go. So where exactly is the window?
Right by Ressa is one of them. Right by Dent is the one further in, and then there's a door sort of in the middle of the south wall.
Okay, well, I would have taken whichever was the closest to get in. So would that have been
The window
here?
by Ressa.
So here?
Yep. So you hop through.
Yep. And so when I hop through and I kind of land, and I'm gonna like wait a half a second, like a half a beat, just to make sure I'm like, I don't fucking disappear.
Now, last time I had done the find trap spell, looking through the window, would that have carried through since the magic's off now? So I didn't see anything at that point when the magic was going.
It's a little hard to tell because you can't be sure what time period you looked into. And it's also pretty clear from what Nero described to you that the interior is now a mishmash of time period. But you certainly didn't see anything, and quite honestly, outside of the piles of rubble in the corner, and then like the rubble of like the altar and the pews, there's not that much to hide a trap.
I feel like Nero would go in directly after Ketch.
I think so.
And also he would make a beeline for the lizard.
Okay. So, you're making a beeline for the lizard. You see the lizard sort of...
I'm gonna try and catch him.
Okay, give me a survival check. Actually, no. You're seeing him. You're not trying to find him. You can just give me a dex check, which is probably better for you. Yeah, you. What have you named this lizard?
Jebediah.
You successfully catch Jebediah.
good.
He needs to have a little suit and sunglasses. But for right now, Jebediah, I'm gonna say, friend, you did a great job as a special agent, and I'm real proud of you. And for right now, you can just take a rest in my little pocket, and I'm gonna stick him in my pocket, and I don't know, put a bug in there or something. I can catch a bug out of the air. I'm a monk, right? I could just like.
Sure. we'll let Jebediah sort of like licks his eye. You stuff him in the pocket, stuff a bug in. You feel rustle, rustle, rustle. Silence. Yeah, so anyone who wants to hop in through a window absolutely can. Ketch, you would know that Nero had indicated that it was back this way, back towards the north wall, under the altar ruins was where that trapdoor was.
Okay, then I would head off in that direction.
Cool.
Ditto.
You all, whoever wants to, heads over there. You do see in the corner a large sack, in the remains of a campfire and a skeletal horse. Just, if you're interested.
Large sack sounds very interesting.
Yeah, it
Okay.
does.
I think I'll check that out.
At any point, I'm sorry, Jesus Christ. I'm an elementary school teacher. It's fine. Did at any point while we were looking through here, did the skeletal horse? Was it always there as a skeleton? Did it ever become a real horse? I can't really remember from last time. So if it was ever something we noticed, then you don't have to like retroactively tell me. But
No, you looked, and actually, specifically, you had looked through at a couple of points where there was never like a horse just standing in the corner, but there was not the skeleton of a horse in the corner at some of the times that I like how two members of the group are like, "Oh yeah, giant sack." Rest of group's like, "Trapdoor." We will resolve the sack adventure party. What would you like to be doing?
I upend the sack.
Okay.
Okay, it cut out for me when you said it, and at first I thought you said I offend the sack, and I was like, what do you say to it?
Hurls insults at the sack.
So Dent, you go over,
Bigger.
just grab it and go to sort of like upend it. And as you're doing this, Ressa, you sort of go, no, and as you do, you just sort of release this cascade of rotting meat, that just sort of onto the floor in front of you and Ressa.
Meat or body parts?
Is there a difference?
Is it a massive testicle?
No. you made Chris shake her head. I didn't think that was possible. No.
Oh, boy.
In fact, as you look at it, you're pretty sure you recognize like a haunch of horse meat and various other animals in that.
Troll food.
That does seem plausible, yeah, Ressa.
Is it worth?
Well, you go for it.
No, I was just wondering if it was worth digging through to see.
Actually, on that same note, I was going to ask if there's any like knowledge I would have of smugglers using like rotting meat to like hide goods or anything like that.
I want to make you roll on that one, Minnow. It's certainly possible. Smugglers will hide basically anything inside basically anything else. But it's not like a well-established trick or anything. And Ressa, that is between you and your god as to whether you want to do that. It works because you're a cleric.
Yeah, I'll at least poke through a little bit, because, the stinkier it is, the better hiding place it is. You never know.
Give me an investigation check then.
As my mama always said.
Oh, that is a natural one.
Oh.
That's rough.
So
do I fall and face plant in it?
no, you're sort of carefully you pick up like a stick and you're moving stuff around, and you're pretty sure you see the glint of something, and you move and you grab and you pick it up and realize that it's just sort of a handful of like meat that is decomposed to the point of being gelatinized, and it just sort of runs through your fingers. You're just left like, oh, that is not treasure. That is not treasure. Think of the amber.
Wrong kind of shiny. Wrong kind of shiny.
Mistakes have been made.
Steaks have been made?
Mistakes.
Mistakes? Oh, thanks, Rachel.
Okay, that's it. I'm like wiping the hands off and...
Anyone have prestidigitation to help her out with the very rank smell?
I do. I can do my magic.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything there, Ressa, but you are the voice of reason.
Honestly, Ketch has been the voice of reason so far.
Yeah,
And then, like, after doing his little prestidigitizing, he, kind of brushes off his hands and hobbles on over to the trapdoor and slides on in.
Wait, whoa.
You were there while you were doing your whole sack business, Mr. Sack.
Assuming you guys had already gone in, I would slide in.
Okay, let's
You just hold your sliding.
let's let the three that are over here determine what is happening with the trapdoor, and then we shall determine whether or not Dent is sliding.
I can cast my mage hand, and
Okay.
I check for traps.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
Still learning this rogue business.
Well, so far you're saying check for traps a lot, which is good.
I learned something from watching Critical Role.
Yeah. mhm.
Yeah, the doorway does not appear locked or trapped. There is some rubble over it, so you'll have to clear it a little bit if you want to open.
Yeah, sure. I'll use my mage hand and press my friends.
Yeah, so it's sort of pulling some stuff. You have to help it a little bit with some of the heavier stuff. But yeah, there is a trap door which did not appear to be locked or trapped.
Shall we? And I'll open it up.
Okay. I'm going to say at this point, Oressa and Dent can be coming back over. So there is an open trapdoor. How would you like to proceed? Those of you, I'm trying to think, you don't have dark vision, no?
I don't either.
I do.
So yeah, so Catch, you can peer over it and see that there's a ladder in a relatively narrow, like 5-foot space down that goes down about 20 feet, and then you can see the floor down there.
Do I smell anything?
Give me a perception check.
Gaiden!
You're still too busy wiping the disgusting off of your hand and getting it prestidigitation. 19 perception. Catch, very good. You are able to fight through that over there. No, you actually, as the door sort of gets open, as Minnow / Minnow's mage hand pulls the door open, there's a rush of cool air that smells musty, but certainly not like anything rotting, living.
Okay. And there's like no light, or is it like a dim lighting?
There's no light down there. Though, with a 19 perception look, you do think at the very base, you think you might see a little glint of wire near the foot of the ladder.
Okay. So I'm gonna look back up at the rest of the Marauders. You assholes didn't want to move on. You made me jump through a window. And then I'm gonna look back down at the hole. And now I gotta jump through a hole. Somebody owes me catnip. And then I'm just gonna jump straight down.
I don't have any catnip,
Onto the wire?
but I do have the fish.
So are you trying to jump all
Down
the
onto
way?
not all the way down, but like down onto the ladder.
Okay, I was like, also 20 feet. Okay, yeah, you hop onto the ladder, and you can start moving down. Again, it's about a 20 feet distance, so, you know, a couple of you can be on the ladder at a time pretty easily, but certainly.
How far down is it?
20 feet to the floor, is what Ketch said.
Yeah, how much damage would that usually be?
2d6. D6 per 10 feet of
10 feet of falling.
falling.
Yeah, I just want to jump down. I want to light a torch and I want to jump down.
But you can't, because at least I'm there in your way.
Well, I'll wait till you climb down a little, right? And then I can kind of like jump diagonally. No?
You're gonna need to wait
bad?
until Ketch is about 15 feet down, because
Fine.
it's a tight tunnel at first, and then it expands out into the room. But you can certainly do that. So Ketch, as you get about that 15 feet down, you can see that there is, from that earlier perception check, there is in fact a wire running across like the last rung of the ladder.
Can I check and see if it's I'm assuming it's a trap of some sort. Can I do a check just see if I can figure out what kind or like
Yeah.
where it goes to?
Yeah, you could technically give me investigation or perception for that, your preference, because you're
Okay.
more looking to see where it goes than what are the inner workings of this.
We're gonna do perception.
Natural 20. Good lord, you all are rolling well
That's been
today.
a lot tonight.
It is you are very quickly able to see what it is. There is a small wire that leads across the rung, and so it's positioned out just a little bit so that as your foot came down to step on the last rung, it would certainly go through and pull the wire, and you sort of follow along. There's a small packet like satchel that's just sitting against the side of the ladder, and from that perception, great, it was perception. I was like, I'm trying to figure out how I can disclose this. You can smell explosives.
Okay. Can I do anything about it?
It looks like it's from the look of it, it looks like the tension of stepping on the wire and yanking it would be what activated it. So if you just sort of snip to the wire, that would probably do it, or you could if you kind of hopped off the ladder into the room, it would also clear it, no problem.
Right, but then I have to warn everybody else that there's something on the rung there.
Sure enough.
Let's see.
How's it going down there?
No.
Did you seem to have stopped? I'm kind of squinting into the darkness.
And I'm looking up, and I'm like, there's a booby trap. Hold on a second. Give me a second.
I'm also going to say, until Catch says this, Nero, you now think there is sufficient clearance that you...
Son of a bitch.
You have heard there is a booby trap.
Okay, so what sort of check, or what would I have to roll to see if I can like clip it?
Oh, you're pretty sure that you can clip it. If you want to try to do it, it would just be an attack. Like you're pretty sure that you won't. From your perception check, you're pretty sure you know how this thing is going to work because it's a very simple mechanical mechanism, and slashing it or like cutting it basically, if you don't bludgeoning damage it, you're probably going to be fine, and it wouldn't be hard to hit.
Okay, so Ketch is going to look at this and do the cat head tilt. Go to Moontree Isle, they said. Ride a bunch of horses, they said. Climb into the time fuckery castle, they said. We'll have a good time. And then I'll hit it.
Ketch has become a Jewish mother.
Ketch has become John McClane.
Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
I was just picturing one claw going. Ding.
11. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. You slice down. You see, even you're very sure about this, but even despite that, you're like, eh. You're good.
It's clear.
Can I jump down now?
Can you land on all fours?
Nope.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Okay,
Ketch
I want
is gonna step like back away from the ladder.
Yeah, no, I just want to jump down, do like a 3-point landing,
Superhero landing.
superhero style.
Is everyone going to be going down this ladder?
Once someone lights a torch down there.
I brought a torch with me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Den?
Is going down.
So am I.
Cool. Move this up.
Before I realized my token's already there, but like, where did we leave our cart and stuff? Just in the middle of the road?
No, Dellen had tied up the horses off the road against some trees. So
Okay,
they're not
good.
like guarded or anything. But
Is Dellen coming down with us?
He seems to have indicated that he's going to wait a healthy amount of time to see if the screaming begins. But then, yes, he probably will fall down. Yeah, so you all find yourself in a... Can everyone see at this point? Cool. Nero's holding a torch. Everyone, you can find yourself in a small room. It's about 40 feet by 40 feet. Stone floor, stone walls. Very spare, not much in here. There's a couple of tables, a small bed, a small sort of like chest of drawers, and a pair of swords leaning up against one wall.
How well crafted are the swords?
What?
You just go right to the swords.
The swords are... The swords appear very tattered, but quite well made. And give me a perception or arcana check, your choice, with advantage. Or no, 23. You get an advantage. There's two swords, a short sword and a long sword. The short sword is like mottled and discolored. The long sword, the metal is blackened. The blade is like notched and almost chipped. And so they seem like they're in really shit condition, but as you look at them, this is starting to make you think of weapons that you have heard of. Mechanic introduction time. These are, you would rather suspect, magical weapons. And they are something that are referred to as corrupted items. They are magical items that have been exposed to the blight. And it damages them. It almost eats the magic that's in them, and it usually leaves them looking like they're in really shit condition, but they're still usually really good weapons. Chris will have run across these before. And these are a known thing in Tyr. Most magical items that got exposed to any level of blight energy turned into corrupted items. You, particularly of this group, Ressa, would know that you can use such items. They're not cursed, but they usually, their abilities are weaker than a normal magical, than they would have been before they were corrupted, and they almost always have two abilities, one of which is based on their natural magic, and one of which is based on the blight. Using the one that's based on the blight increases the corruption of the item. That is a not good. Using the one that it is based on, and also usually doing other steps like repairing it, exposing it to the element it's aligned with, etc., heal it, and can actually return it to its original sort of glory.
Would an identify spell be able to tell more about them?
Yes, absolutely. Identify, this is a magical property of them, so it would work the way it would with a normal magical item.
I just wanted to look around and see if I notice anything in the walls or the things around that remind me of how it was upstairs, where there's like parts of it that look really new and parts of it that look really old, like if this has been time wonked in the same way.
Very interesting. You're not going to need to roll for that because you did well, and that's a very distinct thing. No, all of this looks like it's from the same time. It's of a piece. You don't see any like, oh, hey, the ladder's really ancient looking, but the walls are brand new. So this all looks like it's one thing.
So I'm going to relay that this cellar looks like it's either immune from the time wonk, or it just hasn't been as badly affected by it.
Minnow on that front? there's no trapdoor basement in this church.
So interesting you should say that, because there's not a trapdoor. Well, there clearly is a trapdoor basement.
Yeah, I was gonna say we just came down it.
Yeah, but you know how like the gravestone is supposed to be older than it was, but then it is actually new? It's kind of like that, where there shouldn't be a trapdoor, but then there actually is. Which, you know, what if it just disappears while we're in here?
Wait. I don't recall anyone saying that was a possibility. I mean, I know I volunteered to jump in here and all this stuff, and I know you guys were all super excited. Ooh, this building, it changes with time. But what?
I mean, I don't know. It seems like a good time to mention.
No. See, like when we were up there, like before I came down here, that would have been a good time to mention.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead
not
and
as I'm
throw
down
that
here.
one up to go away. You're probably right, and I'm sorry. I'm gonna check these. You said this is a chest?
No, that one's a table, and then there's a small like chest of drawers in the northeast corner, and then a small table and bed in the southeast corner.
I would like to check the drawers, and I would probably... Nira, would you mind bringing the torch a little closer? Thanks.
Yeah.
Anything in the chest of drawers?
No. There's a couple of maybe very ratty pieces of clothing, like just like shirts that are torn and just sort of threadbare, but that's about it. Doesn't seem to be anything particularly interesting in there.
Never mind, let's check the other stuff.
Is the floor just hold on. Is the floor just straight up gravel, or is it like in some way prepared?
It's worked stone.
Okay.
This looks like this was a sort of climb down to a room, not to a cavern.
Okay.
That's what you're going.
Yeah. Because I mean, like, there's a bed here, and so I figured that the floor probably was at least even and, like, you know, sorted out some way. I think Dent would want to go ahead and, like, look at whatever is on the table nearest the bed.
Sure. You see a slim, very thin book and a small, like, coin purse.
Yes, I take them.
Okay.
We're all just a bunch of thieves here, apparently.
Yes.
I mean,
You
I
are
guess
a
I
D&D
stole
adventuring
a lizard,
party, yes.
So.
Yeah, I definitely would have taken the swords.
Okay. Yeah.
I think Dent, like, looked at the longsword and, like, pulled out his greatsword. Mine's bigger.
Just pat.
It's not always about size, Dent.
Yeah, that large sack up there wasn't really a great...
Yeah, I guess if we learned anything from that big sack upstairs.
Minnow gonna go check this last table.
I feel like muttering under her breath the whole way.
Probably.
Yeah, you see some like tinkerer's tools. It looks like a sort of a hammer and a wrench and a small sort of screwdriver. And you see a couple of sheets of metal that are decorated with sort of whirling patterns that are very intricate and are very pretty, but you don't recognize as like any kind of writing.
Hey, Ressa, I found something you might like.
I'm on my way.
Clink, clink.
Do
Yeah.
you recognize, and I show her the sheets of metal, this pattern? Is it related to the Neander family, maybe? Or if not, just do you know? I mean, it's interesting, right? Do you know anything about it?
Do I know anything about it?
No, it certainly doesn't remind you of any, say, religious imagery or anything. And it's not particularly a style of work that you've seen before. Again, you would come to the same conclusion of it's pretty. It's sort of geometric patterns, lines, etc. It's nothing.
Would Nero have described kind of what the magic looked like? Shifty and do the patterns kind of remind me of her description of what the magic?
Interesting. No. They seem more regular and like geometric, as opposed to the patterns in the magic seemed fluid.
So
Yeah, sorry, doesn't look like anything I know.
Oh well, I mean, worth a shot. Should we take them with us? Are they very thin, like foil almost, or are they like thick and would hold their shape easily in a pouch?
Yeah, they'd hold their shape easily in a pouch. They're not quite foil, but they're like around cardboard, maybe something more like that. They're not bricks of metal or anything.
I assume you would be the person to hang on to these, Ressa. I mean,
Sure, be happy to.
I
Okay.
just wanted to look at either the bed or maybe the floor where other people haven't walked or things like that to see if it looks like it's either been slept in recently or people have walked around and done things in here recently. Is it like a super thick layer of dust? Does that kind of stuff?
Give me a quick survival check.
in the meantime, Dent, did you mention that you have the book, or did we see you picking it up?
I mean, I probably emptied out the coin purse just to see how much I was there, and then might have opened to the book to the first couple of pages. If there was a name in the book, I would have mentioned that.
Okay. So let's resolve that, because you probably did that as Nero, a little bit before Nero started looking around. Flipping through the book, you can see that it's very aged. And just sort of even turning the first couple of pages, most of it appears obscured, but there are sort of the odd fragments of words and things. So there is some legible writing in it, but most of it is not especially legible. When you turn out the coin purse, what pops out is a small silver ring with a yellow stone.
Hey guys, I found a shiny thing.
Shinies.
As soon as you see it, Ketch, you're intrigued by it.
It's not catnip, but it is shiny.
You said it's yellow?
Yep.
Yellow is my favorite color, so Ketch, you know I care deeply about you, but it's my favorite color.
Can you remind me, Galway?
Catch.
I tried to find it in my notes, but I think we have this as a verbal conversation. What did we decide was the actual item that was stolen from Minnow?
Small locket.
Locket. Okay, thank you.
Dent, I don't know that would fit on your very large metal fingers.
Go away, space.
It's Rachel and I, what was that expression?
I'm sure I could find a good purpose for. Is the ring itself is silver, and then the gemstone is yellow.
Yes.
Don't you think it might be important or valuable to the person whose bed this is? Are we just common thieves now?
Did you think that someone's been here recently?
Did I think that someone's been here recently with that stolen hallway?
I open and show the book, and I'm like, look, this book is so old. Like, clearly, whoever's place this was, like.
Once you start kind of waving the
hallway
book around, can I grab it and see if there's a date in it?
I mean,
publication
apparently,
date.
since Ketch was interested, there must be some meaning to it. Or Ketch just likes shiny.
Did I get anything from my 7 survival? I mean, I'm sure it's literally nothing, but like.
Well, actually, that's the interesting thing. It's literally nothing. There is no dust on the floor. The bed appears made, but not recently slept in or disturbed, but there's no dust on the floor. There's really nothing for you to get tracks off of, but it certainly doesn't seem, based on the rest of the room, that anyone had been here just recently.
So you say it's old, but this place seems pretty well kept.
Do you guys remember how when we got back to town and our families were all gone, the houses were completely untouched? As if people just whoosh gone. Kind of like what happened here? Maybe?
What?
Maybe, but also this is like a place for thieves and stuff, right? So like stealing from a thief,
But this wasn't.
moral gray area.
I mean, if you want to take a thing, just take a thing. You don't need to make excuses for it. It just felt weird to me.
As you started moralistic, all don't steal from people things.
It's not I mean, like, I don't feel like Nero would feel comfortable walking into somebody's, like, possible house and just taking their things. We
I
don't know
just
what
like
happened
the
to them.
flip of, oh yeah, I mean, if you want to take it, then take it. I don't care.
Can I do like a perception check?
But I feel like that would be within my character's wheelhouse.
That's fair.
What were you saying?
Yeah, could I do like a perception check or something between these two items to see if there's anything particularly intriguing about them other than their appearance? Or if that's not perception, whatever you think most fits.
Honestly, with the ring, it would be, are you checking if it's a magic item? And with the book, you don't need a perception check, you just should leaf through it, probably.
Fair. Yeah, I guess I'll try like an Arcana check or something to see if it has magic.
Yep. Give me an Arcana roll. 10. It's hard for you to tell. You're not sure. It certainly seems possible, but it would be faint if it was anything. And flipping through the book, you do come across one page that is more legible, near the end. Would you go ahead and read it?
Yeah. I mean, if I can make it out, I would definitely. I would read it to myself, and if I felt like it was valuable, I would share it.
Sure. Just. It is now in your journal.
Is it? I'm not seeing it.
Sorry, I forgot there are 2 save changes buttons on that. Did it show up now?
Yes, I have an icon of a book. Okay.
Slim book, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm reading this. Hey guys, I can make out a few of the sentences. It's still a little bit iffy, but I think that this might mean something here. The attacks are more frequent now. There's little that anyone is doing to stop them. I still can't believe that they're dead. Everyone thought that and I can't make this part out, but it said that the something would be a something else. I should do more, but what? And then I can't read that. Okay, but the rest of it's mostly okay. I managed to get this far away from some noun. Let's play some Mad Libs, guys. Hopefully they won't be able to track me here. It isn't much, but at least it seems secure enough. Now I just have to figure out what to do about food.
Is there a date on that entry?
No, it's definitely the most recent thing written. It's at the back of the book. But it doesn't say a date or a name or anything.
That doesn't sound very good.
That sounds like trouble. And at that, Ketch has been like fighting with his tail. So he's like very distracted when he says trouble.
Well, if we just happen to stumble upon this place and he's worrying about people actually trying to track him down, or whoever this person is, doesn't specify their name or anything, then I think it's very likely that they probably successfully did track this person down.
Or this person disappeared the same way everyone in town did and never got saved.
Oh, this place looks cozy. Dellen has made his way down the ladder. I didn't hear screaming, so I assumed you were all still safe. Anything interesting?
Well, there's a bag of explosives right next to you.
What were you going to say, Ketch?
Ketch is gonna like push him to make sure he's like actually there, because now with everybody talking about the place might not exist anymore, Ketch is like, are we here? Are we not there? And now you just popped in and I'm touching you.
So as Dent says that, he'll sort of go, ah! And jump over to you, and you like sort of pat him. Why are you doing that?
Are you here? Can you feel me? Are you here?
Yes.
Okay. And then you'll see Ketch's tail kind of like come up and go like this, and then go down.
So anything interesting, or shall we move on? I wasn't really sure. I hadn't defined a plan outside of trying to make sure you weren't
Show him
dead.
what you found. He's the smart one that knows
I'll
things.
tell him about the sword.
Maybe the book will mean something to him.
He'll sort of look at the blades. Yes, I agree with you. I suspect that these are corrupted items. It would be most intriguing to learn exactly what their capabilities is. Do you show him the book then?
Yeah, I show him the book. I don't show him the ring.
Okay, he'll look at the book a second. I am afraid it doesn't mean anything in particular to me, Nero. But it does seem that whoever wrote it was under a great deal of duress, and I cannot think of any attacks that have been increasing.
Do you think if you were to spend more time with that book that you'd be able to figure out when it was written?
Perhaps. That is only one page, though it does seem to be in very bad condition overall. There doesn't seem to be anything particularly remarkable about it as it stands, but I could look through. Perhaps there's snippets or messages elsewhere that give a hint. Also, obviously quite old.
But is it because that gravestone up in the graveyard is 150 years old, but it looks like it's brand new? So something could look 200 years old, but be written in 1572 at this point. You know, we're dealing with quite outside the realms of normal time and aging.
You're going to see Dellen's eye just sort of like twitch. It's a point well taken. I will do my best to figure something out from the book.
Can I insight that?
And does Ketch see his eye twitch?
Yeah.
Ketch is going to push him again.
Oh God, why?
Are you my dad?
Minnow, you're pretty sure he knows something about this? Minnow fumble, by the way, for those of you listening. You're pretty sure that description of weird time meant something.
And remind me, house rules is that fumbling is I'm either completely right or completely fucking wrong, right?
I'd use all three shades. Basically, I can treat it as anything from a 1 to a 20 on a roll.
Okay. I glare at him.
Just eyes narrow, just...
Better sooner?
Do you know about what's going on with these time shenanigans?
No, but they're fascinating.
I look at Ketch and make eyes like, do you believe him?
Ketch is going to push him one more time, just slightly harder and with a little bit of claw.
Ow! 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 Pointy! No, I don't know anything. I wonder if this could be connected to what happened in your home. That was all I was thinking. I don't know, though.
You smell weird.
I'm sorry.
Dent gives him a hug.
Oh, well, this is nice.
No. The specially tight kind of hug.
Oh God, this isn't nice. I had such hopes. I had such hopes.
He helped us before. Why are we turning on him again?
His eye twitched.
That people have bodily functions, right?
Just conveniently timed ones.
They do. They have bodily functions.
I mean, we know that this is a very weak and easily startled man.
I am.
Dent starts to relax his hug.
Thank you.
But he's helped us with information, but he's terrified of his own shadow.
This coming from one who threw a lizard through a window?
I told him it would happen first, and Jebediah's fine with it.
Jebediah's head pops out of the pocket.
He has a
from side
low
to side,
terminal velocity.
drops down.
May I suggest that we continue this conversation not in the time fuckery area, just in case?
I like how one of the first things you said was, "Oh God, what if the trap door goes away?" And then you're all just like chilling.
As soon as Dallin came down that ladder, Elise was like, "Oh God, what if it disappears now that no one's watching it?"
Before we go up, would I know if are the explosives touch sensitive?
No. It seems like they probably have a triggering mechanism based on the trap as you looked at.
I'd scoop it up and bring it with.
Yep, absolutely.
Dent absolutely wanted to do that on the way up as well.
Okay,
So-
you can have it.
Okay. Yeah, so you make it back up. Do you want to get all the way the hell away from the time fuckery?
I want to do either a perception check or something to see if anything has changed in the church
Give me a
or
perception
wherever
check.
it is that we are.
No. There is still a skeletal horse in the corner. There is still a vile-smelling pile of rotting meat next to it. Rubble, mismatched sort of pieces of wall and floor in their time, but everything looks about the same.
It looks like the time hasn't jumped, but it's still locked.
Minnow, did you share what you got from the crate with everyone that you found it? Or from the cart?
No, I have not shared any of that.
Okay, well, then this question would be...
I would just be holding the chest, which I don't really see as reasonably having been able to hide anywhere on my person.
So I guess this question would just be for your benefit. Is the yellow of the gemstone in my ring like the same yellow of the vial of liquid?
The vial is green.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Forget I said anything.
Is the yellow similar to the amber thing? That's what we found before?
The crystal that you found? No. This one is more of a greenish yellow. It actually reminds you a fair bit of a cat's eye.
Oh.
Meow.
With the knowledge that it's greenish yellow, does it match the vial?
Oh, no. Sorry. It's still, like, it's sorry. I was not trying to push you to that. It was not at all the same color, no.
Cool.
Elise was just so like, well...
Sorry, I didn't even think about that, because I was like, yeah, no, one is a green, the other is a greenish yellow, and like, didn't even loop back to me, like, oh, I just pushed them closer, didn't I?
What time of day is it?
As you look out, it's getting on into evening.
Should we maybe camp here and see, not inside the building, but just outside of it, maybe see if anything changes, or should we just leave? I don't really know what else we can find here, but I also really feel unfulfilled. I mean, I'm glad I have a new friend, but I feel unfulfilled.
Okay, so you wanted to go inside, I went inside. You wanted to go downstairs, I went downstairs. We went into the room. I was told the room might not exist while we're in the room.
But it's staying existing.
I know, but we have a job. We were on the way to a job. Why can't we go on to the job? That's where the money is.
What good is money when you could have adventure?
I had 10 siblings. 10 small, big mouth siblings.
That must be nice.
Money is very important. And very much secondary. While yes, I do love adventure because adventure makes my tail twitch, which isn't always a good thing. But money first.
I mean, if we stay here, we have the benefit of being able to observe the building longer to see if something happens again. Is that the... And if we... but
So
I also do agree with what Ketch is saying, that we have a objective here.
So let me break down sort of where you are with like.
To
what
be
you're
fair, isn't the guy who like sent us on the objective like standing right next to us?
Exactly.
Yes, I am.
He's kind of a pushover, so.
Oh.
I mean, you're cool and all, but you'll do what we say, right? It's fine.
But what do you want to do?
Yes. That sounded positive. I'm quite concerned about my order, but I also don't know. I was in favor of leaving the traveling arrangements to you. And to that end, you would say that you probably are only going to cut off about hour and a half, 2 hours of travel time on the road, given where it is, unless you were going through the night. So you could get on the road, go a little bit farther, then camp. You could camp here, and maybe you just need to start earlier in the day to sort of even it out. But that is the scale of what you're talking about. It's a couple of hours max, unless you were planning to ride through the...
My thoughts are maybe it's worthwhile to just get to where it is we're going, and then I have this book and something else, and maybe we might be able to find someone that can tell us a bit more about maybe some attack that might have taken place that fits the supposed time frame of this book, which is probably 150 years ago. Possibly.
Whatever everybody wants to do, I'll do it.
And we've already established that I'm a pushover, so...
And I kind of clap my hand on his back and I smile and I say, "You are."
And that's okay.
If we only have the benefit of another hour on the road without pushing through the night, we might as well stay here. So the question is really, stay here and observe this thing from a distance, safe distance, or carry on through the night and get to Tormenreal as fast as possible.
I don't sleep, so this has no bearing on me.
Though you do have to perform maintenance as part of a long rest action. Otherwise you start to degrade.
So, at the mention of at a safe distance, Ketch would have been like, okay, I'm cool with the safe distance.
I like safe.
Okay, so camp here, a safe distance, and observe through the night. Whoever's on watch, keep an eye on the building. See if we have another episode of time fuckery, if a troll comes back to life and or dies.
I didn't say it this time. You can't blame that one on me.
There've been, like, the note that we found at the end of that book is like zombie movie 101. Like, oh god, they're coming. How long can I hide here?
And then food.
So yeah, based on what you saw, Nero, you would suspect that, like, as long as you were kind of back at this distance, nothing extended this far. It was a little bit harder to tell what the borders were sort of around the back of it, but you definitely didn't see anything more than, like, 10 feet out in them. So you're pretty sure that even if, like, you weren't on watch and it kicked up, should be safe there. Plus, it also has the advantage of being very far away from the troll's corpse.
Ketch will offer to take first watch.
With me being Warforged and having this, can I post it in chat? Yes. I don't need to sleep. I can't be exhausted from lack of rest. So I don't know how that would factor into needing to take watches.
You're using the earlier version of Warforged.
I got all the things from the document in your Google Docs.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was from.
Yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
I may not have. They significantly retooled Warforged when they finally released Eberron, fully officially. But it's fine. It's fine. They're both fine. I just need to remember which one we're playing with. You could certainly entirely keep watch. The other thing is, with a party of 5 people, you could essentially always have an extra person on watch. And even the way that they changed them to power that down a little bit, when it's now, like, you basically have to do the equivalent of Elvish meditation, which we're not playing with, and I'm fine with that, but, like, you would still be able to keep watch through that. It's the equivalent of having an elf. You can be very active with that. Other people can help. So you can be on always watch, and then Ketch can take the first rotating watch.
Yeah, I think that... Yeah, that works for me.
Okay. In the interests of time, I will go ahead and say, yeah, you watch through the night. Everyone is sort of watching the building and the road like hawks.
We're also probably watching the building too, right?
Yeah, I said the building and the road.
Okay.
You don't see anything. You don't see any more changes. You don't see, like, the stonework shifting. The troll does not move. which I feel that Ketch probably pays particular attention to since 2 people have jinxed it at this point. Yeah, you don't see any changes. It is now, you kind of started turning in relatively early. So yeah, it's pre-dawn, but you've completed a long rest. You gain the benefits thereof. Nothing seems to have changed. And let's go ahead and take a brief break. Grab a drink, stretch your legs, as Andy would say, manage your fluids. And we will be back in just a couple of minutes with more Tier Moontree Isle.
We lost your audio.
Galway, you're gone.
Oh, sorry. I changed over and forgot I had pushed to talk down. The first, not really half, but first segment, the Marauders investigated the church where the time had gone all weird and discovered that time continued to be kind of weird inside the church. Nero made a new friend, Jebediah, who's still in your pocket. Jebediah's a lizard, everyone.
Oh, I'm gonna totally check in on Jebediah as well at some point, so we'll have.
Yep. And they explored a basement that should not have been there and appeared to have been a holdout or a hideaway of someone fleeing some kind of attacks, within which Ressa found a pair of magical blades. Rook found... God damn it! Andy! Dent found a ring that intrigued Ketch, and also found a journal or small book of some kind, which was mostly damaged and destroyed, but the last page of which seemed to mention lots of attacks and hiding and worrying about. The group decided to camp because it seemed like they only had about another 2 hours of travel time anyway, and this gave them the opportunity to observe the building the church through the night. As part of this process, Ressa cast the Identify spell on the blades, and Ressa, you learned the properties and also like the names of each, and you actually learned one thing that isn't in their handouts. The longsword is the Wavering Menace, and it's a blade that has the ability to induce fear as an action, and it also has the ability to do damage to creatures that are afraid. Sorry. Like, cough, no. And you can teleport to them. But that ability carries some damaging effects, and that suggests to you that that's probably the ability that comes from the blight and the corruption. So normally you know that corrupted abilities have a severe downside to them, either direct damage or something else. The short sword is the Lost Legacy, and it appears to feature lots of evasion and a sort of luck-related concepts. You can teleport when you take damage, however, you can also use it to sort of essentially have the lucky feat and turn a fumble into a reroll. But after you do that 3 times, your next critical success is a fumble. You would also suspect that one would be the not good, and the blight-inspired one of it. But those are both relatively powerful weapons to speak to the other things that are needed and identify. You have to attune to either of them to use them. They're both magical. The short sword is +1. The long sword is not a plus weapon. And through your Identify, you can also, at a metagame level, you can identify how corrupted they are. In order to move a weapon from corrupted to purified, which increases its power and prevents any ill effects from having corruption in it, you need to move that to 1, basically, and then usually carry out some other type of action. These are both at 4, which is decently corrupted, but not god-awful. Just, I am watching, the chat is really super in on Jebediah. I am looking forward to your new battle formation, which involves like huddling up into a phalanx in order to protect Jebediah as you all fall one after the other.
I wish I could draw just to get like Jebediah's little face sticking out of Nero's pocket as we're all like hunched over with our swords and shields.
Galway, remember how we said that like people couldn't just like hide inside of my armor? Can we make one exception?
I'm gonna say that the
lizard-shaped exception.
Jebediah's gonna be your fucking pilot, a la. Like,
oh my god, I love the image of the little lizard head inside the giant empty suit of armor.
So He still can't really go inside the suit of armor, especially because you fear that might have some pretty bad effects on him based on the sort of magical force that holds you together. But there are sort of hinges and pieces of your armor which could hide a lizard.
Noted.
Yeah, so Ressa, what you do with the knowledge of what those swords are is up to you. You would also, I would say, know off the top of your head that there is, as with magic items in basically any D&D campaign, a perfectly good market for buying such things. They are also powerful weapons that could be purified. It's sort of up to you who you think would best use those, or if they're both you. And I think the only other piece of housekeeping was that Minnow, you did cast
Find Familiar, yes.
Find Familiar. And I'm fine with you just burning the GP. Special materials that are consumed.
Cool. I don't remember how much it's worth, but I did notice that I didn't have any GP recorded at all on my character sheet, which I feel like must have been wrong. So I don't know.
You were at least at 40 by now.
I also didn't record any, huh?
Yeah, neither did I.
I only had the starting.
I forgot to even put that.
I spent a lot of my starting GP, which may have been why I didn't. Like, just on stuff like extra rope and things like that, but...
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how much Find Familiar is off the top of my head.
I'll look it up, don't worry.
Okay. But yeah, so you...
I did want to also check in with Jebediah and just, like, talk with him and pull him out and be like, hey, little buddy, how you doing? I mean, you know, I'd really love for you to, like, be my cool new friend, but it's fine if you don't want to, but we go on a lot of cool adventures. You could go on cool adventures with us, so, you know, just if you wanted to do that, that'd be great. And that's all I say. And then I put it back in my pocket.
Sort of blinks. He nestles back down in your pocket, at least.
Yeah.
Ketch is curious about the ring that Dent took.
Yes.
So if we would have been on watch together, Ketch would have asked to examine it.
I would allow this to happen.
Yeah, it's, you're looking at it and you're sort of in the firelight. You feel super interested in the ring, and as you're looking at it, about the only thing you can come up with for a reason is that the color of it kind of reminds you of Pickle's eyes.
Okay.
That's so cute.
I'm so impressed you remembered one of the kids' names.
Remember Pickles and Ham.
Same.
Jingles, Snickers, Tuck, Dot. You said Ham, Jet, Fox, Hass, and Goose.
God damn. All right, yeah. And anything else that anyone would like to have done during the night, sort of with the couple of hours when they were to keep you watch? All right.
Play my pan flute.
I'm gonna switch to my big boy armor.
Okay.
Which means I can't be as stealthy, but I just feel like I'm ready for a fight because I wasn't super ready for that troll, but like in case that troll comes back.
And I would have told you all about the swords, what I figured out about the swords.
Cool.
I just want Elise to be there, like, not like just like not really.
That's what happened in character to explain this question. Sorry, what did the second sword do again?
So there's the Wavering Menace was the long sword, and that one's up 2 abilities. It's a magical one. Oh, that was right. That was the other bit that would be worth pointing out. It's a longsword, but it is considered a finesse weapon.
So wait, so one of them is like if it's a frightened creature, it has extra damage, does its blighted ability.
Yeah, it lets you teleport to and basically murder something that's scared of you.
And that's the longsword?
Yes, and that is the blighted
That's
ability.
rough.
The normal ability of it is it scares people around you.
Okay. And the short sword? Did we do that one too?
Yeah, I'm just showing you now. Ressa certainly cast Identify on it. It's a +1 magical short sword if attuned, and then you have 2 abilities. You can teleport as a reaction upon taking damage, possibly avoiding the damage entirely, and then you also can basically hack the lucky feat, kinda, with some pain on the back end of that.
Got it. Cool.
But you do get to change wands 3 times for each 20 that you have to take a 1 on.
Yes, though you would know that, again, like in that model of it, that would probably begin increasing the corruption of the blade. So, also not good. You have also heard rumors that items that have been really deeply sort of touched by the blight are called blighted items, and those ones tend to start breaking reality around themselves. So
Do I feel like these 2 have been that deeply?
No. It's a little bit hard because you wouldn't know, but there is obviously a number. I base a number system on this to do this mechanically. These are certainly very corrupted compared to even some items you might have seen. It's not unheard of for you, especially as a crafter, to have seen these types of things. They're more corrupted than that, but you don't feel like they're like at the threshold of doing that. It would just also make it much harder to purify.
Quick question. Did the horse's skeleton have like a saddle on it, or was it just a skeleton?
Just a skeleton.
Okay.
Well, the building stayed the same overnight, right? Everybody's watch went the same?
Yeah. Some people did other sort of spells, some people played music, summoned a hawk from nothingness.
I don't know. I mean, I guess my vote is we keep going. I don't know that we can get more information from here.
Yeah, and I don't know if you remember this, but where we're going is a very prominent fishing town, and I have an itch that needs to be scratched.
We all get those itches sometimes, Dent.
Can metal itch?
Nero/Rachel with the real questions. So yeah, so then you can set out. It's sort of pre-dawn because you went to bed earlier, so you're trying to make up for the couple of hours that you lost traveling.
Is dark.
Is dark. One of you would probably be actually. I know who would volunteer to hold a torch. Sure as fuck ain't doing anything else. So you're making your way along in the pre-dawn, and Ketch, as you sort of are taking point on this, because in the dim light you're better at keeping watch than Minnow at the moment. You normally alternate who's keeping lookout. Across the road in front of you, you can see a tree down.
Okay. Hold up, guys. There's a blockage on the road? As I'm kind of like tilting my head. Pretty sure it's a tree.
Chandrian.
I was about to say, if there's a blockage, then I hope we have some laxatives.
No.
No, don't go there. Don't go there.
Just flashbacks on the insides of my eyes.
The traumas.
I set the tree on fire. No, I know I don't.
I will run up over to the tree to see what kind of...
Oh, okay, I legitimately was like, wait, I'm playing with Lena? I see stimulus, response, fire. Also, there's a cat. There's a cat behind you. This is very distracting. I need Ava screaming in chat right.
Andy says battle map ... run.
Run straight into the battle.
Yeah.
So did you say you move forward?
Madness rushes in.
Yeah.
I'll go up to where I saw the tree.
Okay, so as you get closer to it, or catch, want to move closer. You can see that this isn't just one tree, it's two trees, and that rocks and rubble have been laid in between them. You do not even need to roll. Like, this could not have happened by accident. Someone has blocked the road.
Perception check. Can I look around and see if, like, along with Catch, or to see if, like, I notice anybody hiding?
Nero and Catch, give me perception checks.
Did Nero come up with me? Because
I think I was in the front, so I figure I would also ride up. But
I wasn't sure what your riding order was. I'm good with that.
oh
Yeah, I
Nero,
don't know.
You had Nero in the back. Okay, so then yeah.
I'm just shuffling
definitely.
people at random now.
Yeah, I mean, Ketch would obviously, if Ketch could tell that this was not something that was natural, I'd be rolling perception.
Yep. So you're looking
it was
around.
hot garbage anyway for me.
Ratchet.
Wait, what do you mean stop rolling?
It's just been a lot of. I was teasing you because
You've had a lot of low rolls, I think. On the other hand, you also had the very good rolls that identified the cathedral screw-ups.
Fair. Gotcha.
23,
I was like,
okay.
what did I do?
Yeah. No, you did not break a table rule. This, I think, is that I think that Elise is feeling the looming dread of the crits shall be balanced before we're done tonight. Very good. Yeah, with that 23 perception, you look around and you see just a brief flicker of light further out from where you are, and then it sort of quickly goes away.
Like down the road or off in
Off the
woods?
road, further along the road, but off the road to either side.
Like the light went to either side? Or
Did just one of us notice this, or did everyone?
That's only Catch at the moment.
Okay.
so Ketch is still trying to figure out, like, I saw a light and it was down the road and it went to either side, or
There were lights on either side.
oh,
So as
okay.
if straight ahead of you is following the road, there was a light in the distance ahead of you on the right and a light ahead of you in the distance on the left.
And can I tell from where I'm at if they are like lanterns or torches, or if it's some sort of like natural like firefly kind of light?
It looked very much like torchlight, especially the way then it went out.
Okay, then since Nero is besides me,
And also has no dark vision and rolled a 9. I would just be like, I don't see anything. Can you
yes.
see
so
anything?
Catch will turn back to you. And at this, since you're right up on me, you will see Catch's my tail kind of like spaz and then go really quiet. And that, if you've traveled with Catch enough, you know that is Catch trying to like be still, because there's something that we are trying to focus on. And so then I will actually turn to you and say, there's somebody on the road up ahead.
Maybe they need help.
I don't think that's the case.
Should I go introduce myself?
No. I think we need to tell the rest of the crew.
I'm just gonna look down in my pocket and I'm gonna be like, Jebediah, be cool.
That's not quite what I meant, but good start. Good start. And then I will turn around, and I don't know if anyone else can see me, but like Catch being like the fighter is just going to be like, I don't even know if these like are going to make any sense. It's going to be like,
We all get each other's
I love
code,
that.
right?
Yeah, we definitely have a hand signal code, but I can't see any of it if you're not in the torchlight.
Yeah, I was gonna say, those of you with dark vision are like, those of you without dark vision are like,
Minnow has her pan flute out. Toot, toot, toot.
If I'm straight up next to Ketch, I can't even see him doing that, right? I'm just gonna be like, why are you moving so much? I thought you said we needed to be careful.
okay, so then Ketch is going to remember that his crew can't fucking see him.
I could though, right?
yeah. Ressa's like,
I
okay,
can-
there's danger.
So I
Okay.
can relay.
Okay,
that-
hopefully Ressa, yeah, then Ressa can figure that out and then deal with the two back there, and then I'll look over at Nero and be like, shh.
From
God.
as you say shh to Nero, from behind you hear toot toot from a pan flute.
The does my falcon have night vision? I should have summoned it back as a creature with night vision, if it doesn't.
Looking
Google,
Have-
do falcons have night vision?
The 5e creature does not have night vision.
Okay, next time, an owl.
Incidentally, owls, or giant owls, are one of the many creatures in the monster manual that have a language that they speak. They speak giant owl. Rather, they understand giant owl, but they cannot speak it. Which raises the question of what the fuck can speak giant owl? Except angels.
Why
Owl
does
bear?
giant owl language exist
So that
if
people who
no
have-
one can speak it?
Speak with animals spell can be like, and then I make noises that are giant owl noises.
But see, this is still my favorite
But
thing.
what if they've never...
But this is my favorite thing from Charity's angelic form, because angels speak in every language ever. It's like, angels speak giant owl. They are the only beings in existence to speak giant owl. Anywho, moving along. What would
So
y'all like to do?
Ketch has 60 feet of dark vision. Can I not see anything in that 60 feet?
Trying to make sure you have... Your vision should be accurately reflecting what you can see. Like on the map. And yeah, 60 feet doesn't get you that far into sort of the space generally. You can see that there's nothing right around this obstruction.
Okay.
But you're not sure past that. You can also
Hey.
say... I would also say that you would know that the lights that you saw were probably like 80 to 100 feet away from you.
Okay, so all right, before I actually make a move, I will turn to Nero.
Oh, I was so confused by the map because the horses were facing the other way.
Yeah.
And so I was like, wait.
The tokens just standardly have that, and I didn't want
That's
to
fine,
reverse
but
all
I
of them.
was just like, what are you talking about? And then I realized everything was on the other end of the map. It's fine now. I mean, it's all still black for me, but anyway, continue.
Okay. Nero. These are not friendlies that want to be our friends. Are you ready to fight?
I mean, I'll fight if I need to. You know that.
Are you ready to fight, given that you're currently functionally blind?
I mean,
Should I, like, light my torch so I could see? Or is that...
wait a second, do you have... What is it? Fireball?
No. I have fire snakes that shoot out of my hands and feet, but it's only for about 6 seconds.
How far does that go?
I don't know, like 10 feet?
We'll put a pin in that. And
I also have magic missile and burning hands, which is a 15-foot cone.
But I do have like a torch that I could just light. Do you want me to do that?
Okay, so I think the problem is the lights I saw, they went out, and they don't want us to see them. So
Maybe is it windy?
There's a mild breeze, but it's pre-dawn, so it's not very strong.
Okay, can I smell anything in the air?
Maybe a perception check.
I think that's my first ever.
As
Nero
catch?
farts really strongly.
As like at all.
I don't
Did you
remember
say
if
he
Nell.
farts?
You just can't smell anything but like burned cowman farts.
Is it windy?
Jebediah's
It
farts.
is now.
It's total
All
bad
you
joke.
smell.
Is it windy?
All you smell is the one fish I have on me.
So, okay, I'm just gonna build out of the wonderful materials that you have provided me. You just smell this sort of rank odor, but as you sort of are smelling that and trying to pinpoint it, Nero farts, and then you're like, wait, there's also rotting fish behind. Goddamn! How do I ever smell anything? You're also pretty sure that the prestidigitation didn't actually manage to take care of Ressa entirely.
Oh man, my magic is ineffectual.
So
I just want to say that I would absolutely take Elise's dad joke and be like, is it windy? It is now.
and then with that, you will see, since you're close enough, can you see Ketch's face?
I don't.
You
if
kind
it's
of can.
dawn,
It's
pre-dawn light.
It's pre-dawn, so like right next to you, you can kind of see general. Yeah.
Okay, so you would generally see Ketch trying to be like, to take in this like deep breath to like smell out the enemy, and then all of a sudden be like, and then like hacking up a hairball.
I've just eaten a lot of fish for meals over the past while.
Okay, can you send your lizard?
What's happening?
You all stink. That's what's
Can we
happening.
keep going yet?
People on the road.
Yeah, sure, let's go. There's people up front. I was trying to smell them out, but I smell everything but.
So I'm gonna.
Everything but?
And lots of blood.
So Dent is intelligent, but he is not wise, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use my prestidigitation cantrip again, and I'm gonna ignite like the tip of one of my crossbow bolts, and I'm just gonna shoot across.
Where are you trying to aim?
I mean, I'm at least able to see that there's something blocking the road, right?
Oh Jesus. Yes.
So I'm gonna.
You've at least
shoot
been
over.
told that.
My goal is to shoot
Me.
over the party, because I can at least see the party. I can do that.
Do you have
I'm
dark
gonna get
vision?
like a flaming crossbow bolt in the butt, aren't I?
Wait, do you have dark vision? Because I don't think you
Are
can.
you gonna light my fart on fire?
I can on my screen. I can see 5 people, which is not everyone, I guess. No, that's everyone.
Yeah, but
No,
I'm
it's
in the
not.
dark.
No.
Right.
Someone's in the
You
dark.
probably can't see me.
Yeah, but I'm gonna aim up at like at least a 45-degree angle.
I'm gonna fucking get set on fire.
Okay, yeah, okay. You have dark vision 60 feet. Okay. And so what you're trying to do is you're trying to aim for the blockade and where you think that is.
Yeah, like aim, like 45-degree angle
Sure.
up, maximum distance, crossbow shot.
Give me an attack roll with disadvantage. Also, I'm pretty sure you should have recovered HP. Looks like you're
Oh, yeah. Let me...
arrested.
Oh, I also have a longbow. Which is longer range? Are they both the same? Longbow would be longer.
Longbow is almost certainly longer. Yeah, it's a light crossbow. Longbow is 150 feet normal attack range, 600 feet max distance.
Okay, I'm not gonna shoot 600, but I will do like 150.
Okay. Give me an attack roll with disadvantage. I'm like trying to measure 150 feet on this map.
But it was arc to 150. No, I don't know.
Okay. So an 11. You will see the bolt sort of fire, or the arrow, because it was longbow, fire out and land in just the middle of the road, and now there's a little bit of light glinting, and catch that's like basically directly between the two lights that you saw just on the road.
Okay, cool, fantastic.
Did anything happen?
Do I see anything else?
You do not.
No movement? Seriously?
So I would then know, like, well, I guess Ketch would then know. No, Ketch wouldn't know exactly how far that was, or would Ketch know exactly how far?
Ketch had a pretty good idea of how far it was anyway.
Oh, okay, all right.
I just couldn't smell anything.
I mean, I can start lifting these rocks out of the way if we want to move forward, or...
Well, I mean, like, I feel like we could totally go around them if absolutely necessary, because this looks time consuming and like totally not worth it. But I feel like there's an ambush up ahead, regardless of whether we go on the trail or we go in the wood.
Sure, so what should we do about it?
So I could start another fire, but just leave it right here, and then we leave the fire.
Are we together enough to be having this conversation? I can't see where anybody is.
You're basically shouting this if you're trying to forward party.
Yeah, you're not hearing.
So I'm not hearing any of this.
Dent.
Cool.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I
no,
was just making sure.
Ketch and I are up ahead, and I'm assuming we're whispering because Ketch is wanting to be quiet.
Yes, definitely.
So desperately.
Yes, so desperately.
Well, I mean, I already did launch an arrow of fire, so, you know, that happened.
That did totally happen.
Maybe
But
it was a
I
meteor.
didn't see any movement.
Nope.
I wouldn't have been able to relay that to you unless I turned back around and Russ is looking at me and I go,
She saw no movement.
and then I'll look back at Nero and go,
Or that might have been stop it. Sorry, I'm not sure which.
I put my pan flute away.
so here's what I'm thinking. Now, tell me if I'm wrong. I think I should hop these trees and just go running right in there. With
Why
you on
do
my
you-
heels.
Okay, I could go with you. Yeah.
Can you run fast? You talk slow, so I'm not really sure if you run fast. Is that a thing?
I'm pretty sure I'm the fastest person here.
Are you sure? I mean, I am, like, look at me.
You have a rogue.
I run 50 feet.
It's not about speed right now. It's about stealth.
Elise dying. Me on the horse, Minnow's just like,
You could come ahead. You're just hanging out at the horse.
So, what do you think?
Do we not want our companions to also be with us? I mean, we can go take on a whole bunch of ambushers, just the two of us, but...
Bear in mind, you guys would definitely know that I am not stealthy right now, because I am in a big chunky suit of armor.
Maybe
Okay.
you can tell
Protect Jebediah?
we're gonna run forward, and then they can join us after.
You know, maybe, hold on. Okay, so change of plan. We're gonna go back to the rest of the crew. We're gonna let our little friend who is like, you know, sneaky, go and do some sneaky, and see what she can find out.
That sounds like a really better plan.
Yeah.
So, as y'all say that, two small lights flare to life on either side of you.
Wait, is it like a red fucking dot? Don't do that to me. I'm a cat. Don't fucking do that to me.
Laser pointer catch. They're will-o'-the-wisps.
Will-o'-wisps couldn't have put a barrier up, could they? I guess they don't have to be alone.
They're not necessarily that. I just said it because it might be that.
Does this...
Oh.
What?
I didn't like the sound of that.
No.
Not coming from the DM.
No, you did not. The DM didn't like the sound
Did
of that.
pass while we've just been sitting here? Can it be lighter?
Yes, I can let a little bit of... Well, also, you can now see there's 10 feet of illumination by them. Like, you should be able to see that.
Are these just lights, or are they living beings?
Oh, well, that's a complicated question, which might have to do with their nature, and perhaps Elise recognizes monsters very efficiently.
How big are they?
These are orbs floating, and you sort of see it... and, Catch, this is nicely described. You just sort of see this ball of light that's about probably a foot in diameter appear in front of you, and you're like, and then it shocks the hell out of you.
Like shock, like electricity shock? Or
Yes,
like
as in
I'm
take
stunned
19
as fuck
lightning
shock?
damage, Catch.
No, 19 is my max HP.
Nero, take
I run away.
20 from the one that appears
I'm
next
dead.
to you.
Holy shit!
There might be a chance that they both critted.
That was the O.
That was the O, was I rolled attacks and went, oh fuck.
Ressa, do those swords that you have need to be attuned?
Yes, unfortunately they do.
Okay.
So you just see, from the back, you all see, and I'll just go ahead and not do that because I'm on the wrong layer. Haha.
Mood.
Yeah, so I'm down.
Guys, I really liked Den.
So you're just gonna see these two orbs appear, flash bright light, and zap both of your party members. You see Nero just sort of sizzling cowman that he is.
Jebediah better be fine.
We'll find out about Jebediah's state later. You did fall on your side, so you didn't land on the pocket he was in. And you mostly got zapped in the face, so that's a good sign for Jebediah.
Can we get some F's in chat for Zebediah?
Yes, but let's all roll some initiative.
Do I? I guess I still need to, yeah.
You still roll initiative, because that's where your death saving throws occur. Roll low. Oh, Minnow.
Do we need to roll for Finch, or does she act on my turn?
I'm gonna clear the... Could you all roll... Sorry, one more time.
You want new rolls, or to use our old ones?
do new rolls, and then I'll set them to your previous values. It's just it's doing this weird thing where it doesn't clear most of the time. Catch.
I prefer my
the same
digging the 10,
roll of 6.
apparently.
Nero should be at 13.
I'll take that 21. That's okay with me.
Hmm. And Ressa got marginally better from that.
7 the first time.
And I don't see Dent.
I got a 16 the first time.
Could you? No, I literally don't see. Did you click on your token?
I mean, if I'm in chat and I'm looking, it says 16 initiative.
No, it's to get you in the
and then
turn
click
order.
initiative to be in the turn order. So click your token, then click initiative.
I'll absolutely keep your 16. It was a valid roll. It's just to get you into the turn tracker.
We can't hear you.
I clicked the token on the screen. Now what do I do?
Now roll initiative again, and I'll change it to 16. Den, you're up first. You can now see quite easily that there are these pair of floating orbs. Nero is sleepy time on the ground. Ketch appears injured.
Where is Finch acting?
Finch will go just after you.
Before me?
Find familiar, technically they do roll their own initiative.
They do roll their own initiative.
I tried to drag that to the wrong screen.
I can't control Finch's token. I don't know if that, so I can't click it or anything.
I'll roll it for you.
How far away are these orbs from me?
65 feet? 60 feet?
Oh, I can also measure, can't I? Yes, I can. Okay, great. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and cast some magic missiles. And there's 2 of the orbs, so I will launch 2 at the one on the top, nearest Ketch, and then 1.
Me? I'm just being a dick. Ignore me.
All right, so here goes.
You should now be able to move Hawk.
Okay, thank you.
Range, target. Did that do the thing?
No. I'll go ahead and roll them for you. So the first 2 went to the one that zapped the ever-loving bejesus out of Nero, and then the other one went to Ketches. Said?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that'll be 6 damage on the one that hurt Nero, and 2 damage to the one that hurt Ketch. Anything else?
I get the sense that keeping distance from these guys is probably the smartest thing. So...
Says the tank.
I am a tank. I have long-range things.
You're also made of metal, so...
I'm also made of metal, and fire and metal, not great.
Lightning and metal.
I was gonna say much worse. Lightning and metal.
I mean, maybe it doesn't faze me. Maybe it just goes right through me and into the ground.
That'd be nice.
Right, DM? That would be really nice.
I was gonna say,
Are you wearing
that was...
rubber soles on your metals
That
so
was-
you're grounded? And...
That was that'd be nice of a person who DMs. That'd be nice. No, it's not happening, but that'd be nice.
Yeah, so, I mean, right now, I'm just functioning as a bit of a lightning rod, I imagine. And so I might be putting the rest of my party at risk by being so close to them. So I'm gonna move my guy. Oh wait, I don't want to be measured. I'm gonna use some of my. I'm still on a horse, so do I have extra movement?
Yes, horse's speed is 40, I believe, and it doesn't use your movement.
Oh, interesting. I'm gonna giddy on up over.
Giddy on.
Yeah, I guess over this way.
Okay.
Yeah. If I can move that far.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, that's easy. Anything else?
I'm gonna ready a true strike.
You used your action.
I can't do both. True strike is a cantrip. Do I not get to?
But
I can't do a cantrip. No.
No, I think it's. But I think it's got a casting time of 1 action, and you already used the action.
Oh yes, it does. Okay. Then yeah, I'll just settle there.
Herb. So I think it's. What's his name?
Finch. Finch the hawk. Okay, Finch is going to give me the help action. I have a question. Previously, we've used Finch giving me the help action as like they fly in the face of the thing and like distract it. But given that popped them out of existence last time, can we have them fly up above and me look through their eyes to kind of triangulate distances as like a increasing because they have keen perception advantage on all perception checks. So like using their keen perception to help me rather than like physically being a distraction.
The help action requires you to attack. It's helping in an attack against a creature within 5 feet of you. So I would certainly. I would say that their help action. It may not give you advantage if you want to keep it at a greater range and they're sort of triangulating, but it would give you a bonus to your attack roll from range.
Okay, and
it keeps them out of the zapping range.
Yes, and that would. I have allies engaged in combat with at least one of these, so like sneak attack damage I would be getting from that anyway, right?
Yes, at least the one that's by catch.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
And Nero. Oh, death save.
Oh, I like that realization, thanks.
Oh. 11, that's a success. Mark 1 success on your sheet.
Yay! Ressa saved me, oh god.
First one is going to try to zap you, catch. I don't think a 12 hits you, though. Your AC must be higher than a 12.
My AC is 12.
Okay. That would be 5 lightning damage.
It could have been as low as that?
Critical
It was
hit.
a crit! It rolled twice its damage.
Yeah, he got the 1 in 400 chance of both of those rolls critting.
Well, I'm sure they were advantage as a surprise.
I was going to say,
attack,
to be fair,
right?
they were advantaged.
Yeah.
From the surprise round. The other one's just kind of... Dent, it seems like you made a good call there, since it seems that it is attracted to your large metal form. And it's kind of drifting its way over to you.
It got real close. Okay.
Oh...
No!
No,
Stop!
no. This is the opposite. Dent, as it's like zooming in towards you, it is just bearing down on you. It's like, yep, giant piece of metal, want to hit, must kill. This is the best way I can think of to deal with this. It entirely misses you, and like zaps the tree, bringing a branch down on itself, taking 6 points of damage.
Yes.
Take that.
I imagine a ball of energy cannot be knocked prone.
No, does in fact have immunity from that condition. It double fumbled. It fumbled both of the rolls because I just automatically roll both dice on them, and I'm like,
How did you get double crits and double fumbles?
well, technically I got one first roll crit, one that it took the advantage to hit the crit, and then this one was just double fumbles. They're streaky. They're lightning. Catch. You're still conscious.
All right. So, Catch is... Well, you're an ornery light. And then I will draw my silver short sword and try and stab it.
12 does not hit.
I fucking hate you, Light. And yeah, I can't move because I'm gonna assume it, even though it's just a fucking light, that it still gets an attack of opportunity. So I'm just gonna assume it's gonna try and swat at me, and I'll just stand there and stare at it.
Fair enough. Minnow. Save them.
All right. I'm going to shoot the one by Catch.
You'll have a +2 to this attack roll.
Okay. $20.
Hits.
So I'll take the sneak attack damage 2 on this.
Call.
Hey, okay. I don't know. Can I just click the sneak attack and does it roll it?
No. Yes. I was like, I'm not sure.
It calls it sneak damage, but I think it's just the same type of damage, which is piercing. So 19 piercing.
19 non-magical.
Correct. It's not a magical weapon. And
Yeah, that hurted a lot.
can I use my my movement is 30 feet. I will
You're not pushing to talk.
Sorry. My movement is 30 feet, and Ressa is 30 feet away. I just measured.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
So I will use my movement to get to Ressa, and then bonus action dash, and move Ressa 15 feet forward with my bonus action dash.
So
I love the confidence with which you said that.
You're pulling Ressa forward, basically. You're using like the...
Yep.
Ressa's on a horse.
I can jump right now.
Horses are
I mean,
good at that.
Ressa is on a
no.
horse. And I generally rule that people's mounts move on their turn, and their movement doesn't count against people's movement. So
it's
an interesting play, though I will say that would net make Ressa slower.
It's kind of like doing the launch off of your horse in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. I didn't realize that we were on our horses. I guess.
Yeah, I don't think
just
anyone
assumed we
had
were on
specifically
foot.
said they dismounted except for Ketch and Nero, who had sort of crept forward.
Then
I'm just picturing Minnow running up. Off now!
Yeah, let's go. I was just trying to get Ressa any.
Yes,
bit
it was a
closer
beautiful
to-
play.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to move, I guess, forward a little. I don't know. Maybe I'll just stay still. I'll get me out of Ressa's way. I'll just move my horse and me out of Ressa's way. That's it.
Ressa.
Okay, so on my horse then, I can make it up there?
Yes. Which
Okay.
up there would you like?
Up to
Where the party member is dying, probably?
0, yeah.
Yeah, you can actually make it to exactly that square right between Ketch and Nero.
Perfect. I will go there, and then I will slide off my horse and cast Cure wounds.
Beautiful. This is how the cleric
Yay.
should do. See if Roll20 decided it wanted to actually roll the... He did! Wow. Max and min. Yep,
Just
so...
better than pluses.
Hmm?
So I cast at level 2.
Nice. So, 11 healing. You are awake, Nero.
Isn't that
Very
plus
zapped.
something? Isn't that plus? Oh, it is.
It
Never
included
mind.
it. It folded it in.
I got you.
Nero's now better than Catches.
I'm at 11 hit points.
Which is over half. You're
To
not
be
even
fair, it's
bloody.
very close to your maximum.
You went from
Yeah,
dead
not
to
too bad.
bloody. Anything else, Ressa? That was your movement and your act. Well, yeah, that was part of your movement because it was 15 to slide off the horse. But your action. Anything else? Stare menacingly at the floating blob of light. Dent. You have a sort of dazed blob of light by you.
Yeah, and Dent is not happy right now. In fact, I'm so angry that I'm going to go ahead and use my action surge. But before I do that, to ready my second attack, I'm going to go ahead and lob my second spell slot of another batch of magic missiles, all three directly at the one at my heels, or at my horse's hooves.
Okay.
And so if you want to go ahead and roll for that again.
So that is 8, 11. That kills.
Nice.
Awesome. In that case,
Which does instantly kill the light in that area.
Right. In that case, I will use my action surge to allow me to use True Strike for my next turn. And so I will then use that to target the remaining blob.
Okay. Do you want to use any of the horse's movement to get you closer, or are you using that to stay well the fuck away until you want to get closer?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay away for right now.
Okay. That first one did seem to just make a beeline for you.
Yeah.
Same again from Finch.
Yes, same from Finch.
Nero, you're awake.
So I have a question
Ye.
about usually getting up takes half your movement,
E.
but like I have such intensely elevated movement. Does it still take half of that like extreme elevated movement too?
I've
Like,
always
my
found it.
movement would be like 30. So
I have always found it very weird that it does that, and especially with the way rounding tends to work in D&D. For example, a wood elf, it would still only take 15. So I tend to rule that that's 15, and it can benefit you if you're a halfling and you have less movement. So you're so much closer to the ground.
Right, because I have movement of 50, so I figured it would be a lot if it actually.
It is
took
fucking
25.
onerous. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have played, yes, the monk, where I'm like, bullshit. 2 feet tall and I move like 50 feet around. I should not take 25 feet of movement to get up.
Okay, so I will take my 15 feet to get up. I will run straight towards this will-o'-the-wisp or whatever the fuck it is. I will spend a key point to make snakes and fangs made of fire come out of my hands and feet, because I'm very mad. And then I will spend another... Well, no, I don't have to spend a key point yet.
Okay. So you
I'm
have
spending
activated
one-
the burning.
So now I'm on fire.
Again.
Again.
McKeck voice.
I can...
Can I offer you an herbal soother in this trying time?
Honestly, yes. The world sucks.
Yes,
I'll take
please.
that herbal soother.
Definitely.
Do I have to do this with just a martial attack? Or yeah, I can't combine it with my quarterstaff, right?
Yeah, no.
So I guess let's see if it hits.
20 hits.
Okay, so I'm gonna spend another key point because I'm mad because they knocked me unconscious and could have hurt Jebediah. I'm gonna spend another key point so everything is fire damage instead of bludgeoning.
Okay.
And I'm gonna spend another key point to add extra fire damage. So let me do the first damage.
Click on the word martial arts in the roll.
Sorry.
You're okay. Okay, so it's 6 fire, not bludgeoning.
Hold on. It is an extra 1d10 fire damage.
Okay. Go on and roll a d10 for me.
So that's 16 total fire
Nice.
damage.
How do your fire snakes kill this poor little blop of light?
Poor little my butthole. It made me unconscious.
Thank you. That's what I was gonna say.
Not this one.
No, this one.
This one wanted to be your friend.
And I basically am going to be like, well, I don't know what you are, but you tried to kill me and my friends, and I can't just let that pass. And then I just, like, from my fists, just, like, actual, like, fire snakes with fangs come out and just, like, wrap their entire mouth, like, almost like it's eating an egg, you know, like a snake eating an egg. It just, like...
So you're Pac-Manning this thing, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And then I'm just gonna use a little bit of like elemental attunement and make my like fire fangs explode in a shower of sparks when they disappear.
So there's just this enormous burst of light, and very good.
So before I killed mine because I didn't get a fun killing moment, I would have said Abraca fuck you.
Fair. Very good. And as you stand here, no longer dead, the light of the sun sort of rising in the wake of this battle, you look out and you see several tents now in front of them, and several very dead bodies. And Catch, you get the scent of rot from
Wasn't
these.
me this time.
So it wasn't just me.
Correct. It was in fact not just your party, 3 of which became malodorous right as you tried to search for that. Yeah. And yeah, what would you like to do? You were out of turn order.
I would like to check on Jebediah.
Such
He's
concern.
so good. You still
Yeah.
good? You okay, little buddy? I'm sorry that must have been scary for you, but I got you. You're all right.
Can I send Finch to look over the dead bodies?
Yeah. There appear to be up there. There's one right there, and then 2 more by the other tent. They are clad in sort of like half-plate metal armor, which is badly scorched and cracked. And then you sort of see off in the distance another one down to the south, and it seems like one more. No signs of movement.
Okay. So, do we think that those were the bandits who set up this trap and then the will-o-wisps killed them? Is that what happened here?
That seems pretty likely.
Makes sense.
I mean, we may have to just get a little closer to check it out.
Why don't you let me heal you first, Catch?
Sam, get inspiration.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, go ahead and cast whatever healing you want to.
Thank you.
What did I miss?
Find dent on the map.
Look at the map.
Fishing? As soon as I saw that pond, I was like...
Then fucked off to the pond. Like, immediately after being like, Abraca, fuck you, was just like, ooh, a pond.
Nice. How much
12
HP
healing?
do I get back? 12.
Can we also like maybe just rest for a little bit? I know we just started, but I There was a lot of almost death.
I kind of agree with Nero. I could go for a cat nap.
I could go for a cow nap.
Yeah, I'm full, no damage, so maybe I can go check out those tents. I mean, Finch didn't see any movement or anything to suggest that there'd be anything else, so if you want to rest, I can check out the tents while you're resting.
I can go with you.
Yeah. Good. You head up. Give me a quick investigation check from each of you. I'm just sort of assuming you're making the circuit of the tents. 7.
Can Finch be helping me investigate?
Yes.
So I can take that 18?
Yes, I will count that as the that feels fair given Finch's perceptual benefits in being able to point things out to you. 5. Wow, glad we gave you that that advantage. Ressa, you're just still a little shaken up by the fact that Nero just almost got deleted in front of you. This seemed worrisome. Minnow, these guys seem to have pretty standard arms and armor. They seem like they're probably mercenaries or sellswords from their general look and feel. The half plates are pretty ruined, but there are some sort of standard long swords, short swords, a couple of crossbows.
Can I specifically be looking for anything that might link them to the Shadow Hand?
You can very specifically be looking for what the fuck they were doing, and that is a thing that you find.
Ooh.
I just dropped orders. Your journal, and you can, if you're going to promptly share it with everyone, I can show it to everyone.
Yes, that would be fine.
So on your screen, you should now see this. It's a very distinct scroll.
Shit, y'all.
With a black leather casing and a purple ribbon. And within that, you see the following text. Find and capture the group known as the Marauders. They are not to be killed. Harm is acceptable, though would be preferred to be avoided. Each member is capable. They are likely traveling in company with another figure. He is less capable. Following this, there is a description of each of your abilities and fighting styles, which are generally quite accurate. And at the bottom of the hand, at the bottom of the document, you see a symbol of a hand with long, wispy fingers, depicted entirely in a deep gray.
Scream.
And this, Minnow, would be, in your experience, what is the rumored mark of the Shadow Hand.
Yeah, so I'm like reading this, and like Ressa, I've seen like reading over my shoulder, like we're like, and like you just, Minnow goes like completely white and like almost crumples the paper as like you get to the bottom, like in like a very tense, like knuckles white fist.
This is slightly upsetting.
This is extremely upsetting.
It is also now in all of your journals, so you can activate.
Oh, Ressa, maybe we need to go back, and I need to maybe come clean about a few things to the group.
Oh, okay. Let's go talk.
Can I roll some hit dice?
Perhaps while there is emotional disclosures, you can roll some hit dice. I'm just like, can I roll hit dice? Ow. Oh god, that's right. You have a negative con mod.
Oh, does that mean I rolled an 8 and I?
Yeah.
You get 7.
This is what happens when you.
Negative con mod. Why?
This is what happens when you pull an Andy.
I'm
But that
half
takes you to-
burned.
That takes you to 18, right?
So just one under my max.
Ironic. That could have been full.
Womp womp. Sad trombone.
So do I get to like roll a d20 for how effective my fishing was?
You were using one of the rods that you made, right?
Yeah, I was using my pinky rod.
Right. Go ahead and give me 2 d20 rolls. We're going to count it as advantage. So a 14. You were able to pull up a decent-sized freshwater fish in the lake. Perhaps a form of carp.
Awesome.
I need to
All
look
right.
into way more fish now.
All right. This isn't this isn't like an arcanic carp, is it? Perhaps a magic carp?
No.
Did you eat one of those earlier? Gummy pack.
Rachel just collapsing.
All right. Yeah. I bring the fresh carp over, and I prestidigitate a tiny little fire and start cooking for everyone.
And as you do that, Minnow walks up sort of ashen-faced and seems to have something to say to everyone.
Hey, everyone. Okay.
Hi.
Yeah, Dylan, actually, I would really love it if you went over there.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
cool. Bless.
Dylan, you gotta learn to stand up for yourself sometime, but now is not the time you should go over there.
What?
It's okay. We won't tell you if it's important.
I mean,
That's
I guess
good.
we can
Is it?
tell Dylan part of this. It's not, it's just, some of it's personal. Okay, so, well, when we got back to Amberheart, is that the name of our town? I'm sorry. Okay. When we got back to Amberheart after our last thing, something had been stolen from my house. And my spouse Arden, they encountered the thief, they told me, not too long ago, who I did a little digging on, and it turns out that they're probably part of the organization called Shadowhand. Many of you familiar with that?
Didn't Dylan tell us about that?
Deep hold from Dylan.
Dellen's organization was Deep Hold. Others of you would, given that you're generally adventurers, I would say that you've probably heard rumors or whispers of such a group. They're organized crime. They're organized crime, right? They're not super violent just at random. They are ruthless in pursuit of their goals. And do you show this letter to people?
Yeah, well, I'm getting there, yeah. So I'd be like, so that group said, we'll be seeing Minnow soon to Arden, and Arden said that the thief could have fucked them up if they'd wanted, but didn't, and just took one thing that is very important to me from my home, and I thought it was personal because that particular object is something personally important to me. And now, I mean, like, if they're looking for all of us, like, maybe it's less personal, and I show the orders that I have crumpled up to everybody.
So, what was the personal thing?
A locket. Mm-hmm.
So,
And
If a small piece of metal is so personal, all you need to do is ask.
Oh, thank you so much, Dent. It's very sweet. But it's a particular locket.
can I do an
And-
insight check on Minnow?
Yes.
I mean, I'm gonna believe her anyway, but
It's precious.
I'm waiting for you to have already declared, I'm going to believe her anyway, and then you, like, crit. I would say at an 8. Yeah, okay. It was a locket. That's nice.
do you need us to get the locket for you?
Yes, we definitely need to get that locket. But I think that clearly these people are interested in us in a bigger way than just this piece of jewelry. Although I suppose it's still possible. I mean, it's unlikely, right, that they're only interested in me if they have orders to find and capture all of us.
If they could have taken anything, why just a locket?
Was it magic?
I don't think so, right, Galway? It wasn't magical. That I know of.
That you know of.
Nope, not magic. Yep, it was, it can maybe, if the wrong people knew that I had it, I could get in a lot of trouble for having it.
So Ketch,
But are we the wrong people?
Ketch, what were you saying, Ketch?
I was just gonna say, Ketch is like noticing like all this tension that Minnow is kind of like exuding. Being a cat, I can smell this sort of stuff, and everybody's kind of like questioning her about this locket. So I snatched the orders from her, and I'm looking at it. Everyone knows we're the Marauders. Yeah.
I guess reputation might come at a cost if this is what's happening. I mean, have we done something that would piss off a criminal organization?
Well,
I mean,
Did they have something to do with our weird town business?
There was the mayor's husband that we might have kidnapped.
this is a very good connection, Dent, that I hadn't considered, is the fact that there was smuggling happening in our town with magical artifacts.
Hey, I brought it up.
Sorry, I just, you know what? Elise has ADHD, and sometimes her audio processing is
Nero just looks sad.
I guess the main question that kind of needs to be broached, even though I noticed this is like kind of touchy, but Minnow, you're the only one who had something stolen from them.
Yeah,
So-
and the fact that it was okay, so this particular locket, like I said, could maybe get me in a lot of trouble if people knew that I had it. So the fact that they knew to come to my house and steal that locket, very troubling to me and my family.
Who would
Right.
you get in trouble with?
Well, the law, basically.
But we're the Marauders. We don't keep secrets from each other.
It's okay. So before I knew you, this is from before we were the Marauders, and it didn't ever seem relevant because that part of my life was over, and now it's not. So
If Minnow's not ready to share with us, I feel like we should give her space, and she'll tell us when it's important. And she's a part of our band, and we should help her.
Yes, but just kind of throwing this out there, and not that I don't care for you, Minnow. It's just, have I mentioned I have 10 younger siblings that now might possibly
pickles, ham, dots.
Jingle, Snickers, Tucks,
Snickers.
Cats, and Goose.
If all of us remember 2 or 3, we'll have them all next time.
All right, I've got Snickers and Goose.
But
I got Dot.
so I've got like these 10 younger siblings.
Yeah, what's
who
that like?
I'm like, yeah, well, we'll get into that. But like right now, I'm kind of concerned that, might be in danger if somebody's stealing stuff from your place. And now, look at this piece of paper. This piece of paper talks about who we are and how we fight. It even mentions my tail. I thought you guys were the only one who knew about my tail.
I thought me and my spouse were the only ones who knew about the locket, so the Shadow Hand clearly has some intel from something.
Perhaps we would
Is-
all be better able
you-
to protect each other if we knew more about the locket.
Is the carp done?
Still going.
Okay.
I mean, I get it if you don't want to share, but my concern is that if we don't know the details, that something in those details might be important and relevant.
That's very logical, Ressa.
Let's give her space.
So, as you sort of prevaricate on this, Ketch is going to hold up the letter again and point. It says the tale! And Dent, two things strike you in this moment. The first is that when you lived on the outskirts of Tormenrail fishing,
Yeah.
you recall once when you were staying very still at night, just sort of fishing, whiling away.
Looking just like a regular suit of armor.
Or a sort of boulder at a distance. You recall seeing someone that you're pretty sure couldn't see you show something that looked like that on a building before they went into it.
Wait, they showed me the hand sign?
They showed, and it's sort of like you could see it because they weren't being very cautious because there was no one around except for you, and they probably didn't know you were a person. Showing that medallion, or a medallion with that shape, to be led into a door on the outskirts of Tormenrail. The other, much more important thing that gathers your attention immediately is that the carp is done. And so is this evening's session.
Yes.
We will return with more adventures of the Marauders, including...
And feast.
I was going to say, including the eating of... I'd like to point out that you're, even with just the Marauders, 5 people, and it's 1 medium-sized carp. So, small portions. And possibly to have disclosures, or not, from Minnow. We have an even more fish-themed episode than usual. And we can see what the hell Dylan is doing as I'm just going to say he's sadly sitting by the pond. Wishing that someone would be his friend. But yeah,
Don't
thank
make
you.
me feel bad for Dylan.
I almost shamed Rachel over nearly getting a lizard killed. I don't think an actual person is out of bounds. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed it. Had a great time playing. Had a great time to watch these guys do what they do. If you enjoyed this and would like to see more of this, you can follow us on you can follow us on Twitter at HelpfulGoat. You can check out our website, helpfulgoat.com. You can also check out our YouTube archive where all of these things are up. And the first episode of Moontree Isle should be coming up real soon. Helpful Goat Gaming is what you can look for us there on. One last time here on, well, at least in Mountain Time, it is still Juneteenth. We encourage you to use the BLM command, look for worthy resources, educate yourselves a little bit more. The donate command to look for places where if you have any resources to donate, it could be really valuable. And I also encourage you again, reach out to your local chapters of BLM, reach out to local organizations that do this kind of work. If you don't have financial resources, there's lots of things you can do. Lots of ways that you can help, ways that you can advance these causes, which is super worthwhile and a thing we encourage you to do. Voice is giving out. From everyone here at Helpful Goat Gaming, thank you so much for watching. Be safe, be well, have a wonderful evening. Good night.
Good night.
Domo, domo. Domo, domo.
Oh, the callback. Good night, everybody.